lost count of all of the weeks that you have your way. Wouldn't pick a fight when you leave. Now you're back for more. Did you find the healing you seek, or did you realize that I'm everything that you need? That was letting go back, hurt so bad. Had to block out the memory. Yeah, start from scratch. You wanna pick up where we left off, but you've been gone away. You've been gone away so long. You've been gone away. You've been gone away so long. I forgot your middle name. I forgot your birthday. You still wear cologne the same. Love it in the worst way. You've been gone away. Since you've been gone away. You've been gone away. I forgot your middle name. I forgot your birthday. Your favorite position. Do we still have chemistry? Since you've been gone away so long. should've known better that I'd lose. I should've known better. Tell me that this wasn't all for nothing. I should've known better than I did. I should've known better. Love's love, man. I should've known better than to give my all. It never works out for me.
Once again, a very good morning. Welcome to yet another exciting episode of the Vooka Breakfast Show. It is your energetic start to your day, accompanied by that daily dose of positivity. I'm happy to be with you today, and happy Heritage Month and happy Heritage Day to all of you. You know that this day is all about celebrating the cultural wealth that South Africa has, just to commemorate all of the heritage and the cultures that we have been enduring throughout our cultural, historical, cultural background. So I am looking forward to this day in terms of what are you experiencing in your culture, just to share as much as you can in terms of the broad aspect of what your culture has taught you and what your culture has shaped you to become today. So this day, of course, it is about the Heritage Day and celebrating where we come from as black people. So do make sure that you stay with us throughout our social media platforms, and the hashtag to use for this day is the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. So please make sure that you engage with us, you connect with us. If you want to call us, the number to do that is 060-493-3226. That's 060-493-3226. You know that we're always dedicated into helping you travel all over South Africa's destination. And for today's day, we are going to be highlighting the Hartbeespoort Sport Dam, completed in 1923. It is a true blend of engineering brilliance and leisure, renowned for its Roman triumphal arch style wall inspired by Paris Arc the Triumph. It stands as in South Africa's only dam of its kind. Nestled against the Magaliesberg Mountains, the dam stretches across 56 kilometers of shoreline, offering breathtaking views and endless recreational opportunities. Popularly known as the playground of Gauteng, it's a hub for boating, fishing, water sports, and scenic cruises. Surrounding attraction from market to wildlife sanctuaries add to its charm, making it a top weekend escape for families, adventure seekers, and romantic getaways. And yes, did you know that Harties has a dam wall modeled after the Arc de Triomphe in Paris? Of course. So we have got a piece of France in Gauteng right here. Exactly. It's also Gauteng's playground with cruises, water sports, and market. No wonder it's everyone's go-to weekend escape sport. So for this day, if you're looking for a place to celebrate your Heritage Day, Hartbeespoort is a place that you need to go and look out for, because it has those scenic views that you can enjoy with your family. So please do make sure that you go out there, you celebrate your day. But that's all for our picture of the day, and you know that we always have things lined up for you in terms of today's lineup. But with that being said, let us take a short break, and then when we come back, we're going to give you everything that entails news, sports, headlines, and a traffic update, of course. So please do make sure and don't go anywhere.
Escape the ordinary and discover the extraordinary with Soweto Tours. Whether you're a group of friends or a family looking for a memorable getaway, Soweto Tours has you covered. Our all-inclusive tours take you to South Africa's most stunning destinations, from the scenic beauty of Mpumalanga to the vibrant life of Gauteng and the coastal charm of Durban.
All right, Mzansi, once again, good morning. Let us keep you updated with your latest news headline. Starting off with your first news headline, Dudula target schools demands exclusion of undocumented migrant children. Operation Dudula visited Soweto schools to block undocumented migrant children from enrolling for 2026, sparking widespread condemnation. Parliament, Equal Education and legal groups denounced the campaign as unconstitutional, citing children's right to education under South African law. Critics warned the action fosters xenophobic intimidation, disrupt learning, and violate court rulings. Chairperson Maki Feni urged activists to stop interfering with schools, especially during exam season, and emphasized that government must act within legal frameworks. Rights groups called the campaign a dangerous regression, insisting schools remain safe, inclusive spaces for all learners, regardless of nationality. On your second headline, Mashaba urges black excellence for Johannesburg mayoral leadership. Action SA leader Herman Mashaba says he'll only run for Johannesburg mayor if the party cannot find a candidate of Dr. Nasipi Moya's caliber. Moya currently serves as Tshwane's mayor. Mashaba emphasized his mission to promote black excellence and talent, noting his decades of experience identifying leaders in business and politics. Action SA aims to govern all three Gauteng metros. Meanwhile, the DA has nominated Helen Ziller as its Johannesburg mayoral candidate. On your last news headline, Masemola task team's successes sparked intense political interest. National Police Commissioner Fani Masemola testified that the KwaZulu-Natal political killings task team drew intense political interest, requiring sensitive handling due to numerous inquiries. He spoke before the Madlanga Commission, referencing the task team troubled history and its predecessors' failure. KZN Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi previously noted that political killings intensified in 2011, prompting the formation of the first special team and Morane Commissioner. Masemola highlighted the current PKTT was recently disbanded by Police Minister Senzo Mchunu, who deemed it ineffective of no value to South African policing. That's all for your news headline. Now let's head over to your sports news. Starting off with football news, Brendan Peterson urges Kaizer Chiefs focus amid Nasreddine Nabi's axing. Peterson, speaking at the Canning knockout launch, emphasized the importance of staying focused amid coaching changes as the team prepares for matches against Marumo Gallants and Kabu Skopa. He avoided commenting on outgoing coach Nasreddine Nabi or the impact of assistant coaches Cedric Kaiser and Khalil Ben Youssef, stressing that players must respect whoever is in charge and concentrate on playing well to satisfy supporters. On the cricket news, legendary Empire Bird dies aged 92. Dickie Bird, a former cricketer turned iconic umpire, officiated 66 tests and 76 ODs, including 3 World Cup finals. Known for his eccentric charm and deep love for cricket, he was revered by players and fans alike. Yorkshire called him a national treasure, and he was honoured with a Guard of Honour at Lord's before his final test. Bird never married. Cricket was his life. He passed away as one of the most respected figures in the sport's history. Heading back to your football news, Villa close to appointing Olabe to replace Monchi. Aston Villa's sporting director Monchi is set to leave amid poor start to the season, with the club winless in 5 games and 18th in the Premier League. Despite past success under Monchi and Unai Emery, including a Champions League quarter-final run, Villa has faced financial constraints, selling key players to comply with regulation. Big signings like Amadou Onana and Musa Diaby have struggled or been sold. Recent additions include Harvey Elliott, Jordan Sancho, and Victor Lindelof. Only 2 current starters were signed by Monchi and Emery, highlighting the club's ongoing rebuild. On your last sports headline, Jody Sheen snubs Mamelodi Sundowns 11th hour. Cape Town City striker Sheen, bound for the Under-20 World Cup with South Africa, opted to stay with the club despite a transfer deal with Mamelodi Sundowns. Though a fee was agreed and he underwent a medical, Sheen felt the move was ill-timed. City facing financial strain after relegation hoped for the sale, but now must adjust the plans. Promoted in 2024, Sheen has made over 25 top-flight appearances and remains committed to his development with the citizens. That's all for now. Stay tuned for more sports and news updates throughout the show. Don't forget to share your thoughts on these headlines with us on social media by using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show, and send us your voice note on 06049333226. That's 06049333226. For now, let us get back to your daily dose of positivity. Please do make sure and don't go anywhere.
measure the love you throw around. I could never hold you down. One of us will have to take a bow. Feeling you so close to make me drive around. Everlasting love, so much to go around. You got me so high I can't come down. I hope you know that I will never let you go. If all I do is dim your glow, then fly on, baby, please just go. Your soul is the ocean, and I can't touch the floor. So full of emotion, I can't keep any more. Are we at a time where we'd be swallowed whole? Don't give up on us now. One of us will have to take a bow. Feeling you so close to make me drive around. Everlasting love, so much to go around. You got me so high I can't come down. I hope you know that I will never let you go. If all I do is dim your glow, then fly on, baby, please just go. I can feel you there where I once had you all alone. In the back of my mind, I'm under your spell, I can't get out. My heart falls 5 below, and I'm still here. I'm freezing cold, but I will wait. I hold my breath till I turn blue. I hope you know that I will never let you go. If all I do is dim your glow, then fly on, baby, please just go. I hope you know that I will never let you go. If all I do is dim your glow, then fly on, baby, please just go. I can feel you there where I once had you all alone. In the back of my mind, I'm under your spell, I can't get out. Let you go. My heart falls 5 below, and I'm still here. I'm freezing cold, but I will wait. I hold my breath. I should've known better, Aisha. I should've known better.
And of course, man, the time is 7:30 on the dot. Good morning, Mzansi. Good morning, Vooka Nation. I hope that you guys are well on this morning, man. And happy Heritage Day to everyone who is listening and watching right now. From wherever you are, man, you know, to your ears, to your heart, and to the rest of your day. You know that this day always comes with celebrating the cultural wealth our country has been having throughout the years, man. We know that we have enjoyed so much as South Africans, but this one reminds us to go back to our original roots, to know thyself, always wake up with that identity, confidence, because identity crisis, it's not something that we should be suffering from. So it is a wonderful morning, and asking yourself, man, in terms of the plans that we have, so much is lined up for us, but we are going to ask you, what are your plans? Because Rona, we are going to be inviting you to our plans in terms of what is going to be taking place on today's day. So all you need to do is to stay with us if you want to know. Yes, we are going to announce, of course, and everything that is going to come with the announcement, it comes with, of course, some of the
instructions. If you want to spend the day with us today, this is exactly what you need to do. So please do make sure that you join us throughout our social media platforms. We are Vooka Breakfast Show, and as mentioned, that if you want to dial us in, the number to do that's 060-493-3226. That's 060-493-3226. With that being said, you know that I am never alone right here in the studio. I have UTC. A very good morning to you, and how are you doing this morning?
Hey man, Vooka Nation, sanbonani ngoba yazini ngintombi yomzulu, and as of course it's true in true Heritage Day style.
Yeah.
I am going to speak ulimi lwakithi. Yebo, ngizokhuluma namhlanje, ngikhuluma nani nina enisibukele nenisilalele emakhaya, wherever you are listening and tuning in from. Of course, if you are new here, you wouldn't know me, but now you will get to know me, because of course Heritage Day is about getting to know just not thyself, but each other. Of course, my name is Utisi Gamazbugo Shabalala, your prime cut creative and positivity dose of the day. Umamshengu omuhle, indlovukazi yakwantu, intombi yomzulu njengoba sengizichazile. Kodwa ke ngithi kunina bayede, because as indlovukazi, the girl that is born to be a queen, and of course the light at the end of the tunnel, I am here to say to you today on Heritage Day, what is your cultural bucket list? Have you thought about what it is that you want to do today? How is it that, you truly feel like this day connects you to you, or connects to you? Of course, you're locked into the Vooka Breakfast Show, where we start your day with energy, insight, and conversations that matter. Now, Heritage Day is about more than just culture, food, and tradition, of course, that we're going to explore right here on the show. It's also about the stories, the cycles, and yes, the emotions that we carry from generation to generation. Because, of course, today is also #Wellness Wednesdays. And there's a thought to kick us off on this day, because today this topic is something we're going to go in depth with, and of course something we're going to even practice in reality. What do you bring to the table? Because today's show is all about tables, and we're not just talking about physical tables. We're talking about the tables we gather around as families, the tables where conflict is born, the tables where love is shared. And later today, the Vooka team will literally be at a table at the Odd Plate dinner experience at the Lebus Soweto Backpackers, right there in collaboration with the Nosh Food Rescue NPC. Breaking bread, sharing heritage, and of course celebrating the power of community. But before we get there, we obviously will be diving into a conversation for the soul with our Mind Basket segment, and we've got Uosha Valdo Nyaka coming back into the Vooka Breakfast Show studio, a DeMartini method facilitator, business consultant, mental health counselor, human behavior researcher, and a public keynote speaker. Of course, together we will be exploring how the emotional tone scale can help us navigate relational crises, break toxic cycles, and create a heritage, of course, of holistic healing for generations to come. So do stick with us, call in, comment, and of course tell us on this Heritage Day, what are you bringing to the table? Of course, again, this is the Vooka Breakfast Show. Let's rise together. #Sivugile. Come into the chat, man. Tell us how your morning is looking like.
Yeah, man, let's get the vibes going, as so much is lined up, as I have mentioned, and TC came up with a lot, man, that we should be looking forward to. But with that being said, man, we know that there are a lot of things that we need to look out for, and that include some of your financial snapshot, currency market snapshot for today's day, right? So if you are an investor, let us take a look at today's currency market movements right there. So when we are looking at the US dollar, the South African rand is strengthened against the US dollar, with the exchange exchange rate at 1 USD at 17 rands 30 cents, reflecting at 0.11% decrease from the previous session. Then moving on to the euro. The euro also declined against the rand, trading at 1 euro to 20 rand 45 cents, marking a 0.11% decrease from the previous day. And then the British pound saw a slight decrease against the rand, with the exchange rate at 1 Great British Pound on 23 rands 44 cents, reflecting a 0.35% drop from the previous day. And then when you look at the Japanese yen, remained relatively stable against the rand, trading at 1 Japanese yen, and it is at 0.11 cents. So today the South African rand experienced modest gains against major currencies, including the US dollar, euro, and the British pound. The Japanese yen remained stable against the rand. These movements reflect ongoing market adjustments and investor sentiment. So all exchange rates are as of September 24th, and they are subject to change. So please do keep up with your financials. If you're somebody who is traveling, you are an investor, and you would like to keep up with the market, because we know that there are people who are always in the market buying stocks and things like that. So they would like to see those trends in the market list. But with that being said, man, we're just going to take a short break, and then when we come back, we're going to summarize some of the news headlines that we just went through when the show started. So please do make sure, don't change the dial, grab that glass of water, juice, whether it's cold drink, please remain right there and don't switch the dial.
Forever, that's without a scar on the flesh. Wish that I was sick and didn't hit the bar when we met, and spent my money time with you just to be in this debt. See you happy somewhere else while I've been filled with regret. Try to find someone to blame, but it's just cause and effect. Hey. I thought that was the truth, cause nothing lasts forever, that's except for me and you. Young and unaware of all the shit that we would do. Try to make it out alive, but didn't make it through. Your parents probably hate me, but my mom still always asks if we're getting back together, even though it ended bad. Forward thinking, haunted by the habits of my past. Precious moments with you, girl, you even met my dad. And any girl after you won't ever have the pleasure. So I guess it's part of why it's hard for me to ease the pressure. So many years, so many times I can't remember. Fear I'll lose them all forever. Hey, yeah. Emotional trauma with a prima donna. Emotional trauma with you. I got my problems with you, but I can never get away. I can never get away. So I can never get away. So I can never get away.
20 minutes till we hit 8 o'clock. You are still on the right dial, and please do make sure that you do not switch it. It is the Vooka Breakfast Show, your energetic start to your day, accompanied by a daily dose of positivity. Located in the heart of Johannesburg, it is Soweto, Dobsonville, right here in the Blinko studios. Dial us in, join us on our social media platforms by typing Vooka Breakfast Show on all social media platforms. Right now, we are live on YouTube. So please do make sure that you share their life with your loved ones. Hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show is the hashtag that you need to use. Right, before the break, as announced that we are going to go through some of the summary and breaking down some of the headlines that we just went through, because yes, it is very important to know some of the things that are going on in our country, and we would also like to hear your opinion and in terms of what you think. What are your sentiments with what is happening in our country right now? So let's just get deep into what we have for today. At the beginning, we opened our news headlines with the first headline that states that Dudula targets schools and they demand exclusions of undocumented migrant children. So what happened is Operation Dudula activists went to Soweto schools to block undocumented migrant children from enrolling for 2026. The move drew sharp criticism from Parliament, Equal Education and legal groups who says it violates children's constitutional right to education. The context of this is that Operation Dudula has previously targeted clinics and hospitals in its anti-migrant campaigns. Schools are now the new battleground, raising fears of xenophobic intimidation and disruption of learning, especially during exam season. Court rulings in the past have confirmed that every child in South Africa, regardless of nationality, has the right to education. What is next is that the rights groups may pursue urgent court orders to protect the schools while government faces growing pressures to intervene. Expect stronger clashes between activists and education advocates as the 2026 enrollment cycle approaches. I know that this one sparks a lot of debate with, South African citizens in terms of, okay, guys, we feel like Dudula is doing too much now by, turning schools, not just any schools, but primary schools into battlegrounds, right? So I just want to hear from you. What are your sentiments in terms of what is going on? I don't know if you guys have anything to say or anything to add on in terms of what Dudula is doing in terms of targeting the schools.
So before I start, I just want to say good morning. I hope you guys are feeling fantastic on a wonderful Heritage Wednesday, man. And we're back with a blast. And I hope you guys are going to have fun, man. It's going to be amazing. Do not forget to wear your pride proudly and show who you are. Be a representation of your culture, your heritage. So when it comes to this whole Dudula thing, man. Okay, so they have been doing something good, man, something amazing. Because I saw on Monday when I went to take my baby brother to the clinic that the number of people that actually come there instead of foreign nationals are actually declined, and the clinics are no longer that full, right? But then with the school, I feel like it's still a right initiative but wrong timing. The reason why I say wrong timing is because right now kids are starting to write their exams. How do you expect a child to focus on building a brighter future for themselves if you come and do what you're doing right now at school? It's very disruptive. Some kids right now are writing prelims, and some kids it's already hard enough to even keep focus in school. Now you finally find the right nudge, the right age to actually focus on what you're doing in school and what you're learning, only for them to just pop in there and just be starting literally raiding schools. It makes no sense. For this, I feel like Zandile is very inconsiderate and insensitive about the issue, especially for somebody who's also a mother. For somebody who's also a mother, for you to be going to schools and disrupting the learning that the kids are doing, the bright future that the teachers are trying to nurture into their brains, it's very off, man. I feel like I got timing, Joe. And it's even worse because she's even trending. She's doing this in schools. She's even trending for actually going to Zimbabwe because her baby daddy is a Zimbabwean national. Imagine
so
you're
you
writing.
think this is a scorned baby mama? Who's
For me, I feel like it's a scorned baby mama. You look at the fact that the father of not even your kid, your kids is from Zim.
And then you go and do this like a whole movement. And when it initially started, and then out of nowhere, he vanished. Probably maybe because you saw that, you know what we're doing is correct, it's right, but
It's in
the
the
way
how.
we're going about it is not
How they're going
conducive,
about it.
right?
Yeah.
And then she stayed there, and there's even pictures of her going to Zimbabwe, no Khal.
I mean, just to top it off, yes, in terms of what they're doing, the timing is off. But when you try to look at, the rights in terms of South African kids, they are entitled, to the education. So here what they are fighting is the enrollment, of undocumented migrant kids.
So, Mwekezi, it brings me to my comments on the issue when we started talking or speaking or hearing of Operation Dudula in news headlines and mainstream media and them starting to make waves, right? I get what they're trying to achieve. Do you understand? I understand, but it's in the how. And that's why when activism is tricky. It's tricky. It's a tricky business, right? Because on the one hand, you get that, okay, they're trying to say, guys, protect resources. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's a patriotic act, for them at the core of it, at the value of this movement. It's that it's a patriotic movement in a sense that you're trying to protect the resources that South Africa has, making sure that it works efficiently and progressively for the betterment of South African lives, right? So, but then it's now in the how you're doing it. You must, ish, man, and that's why politics are tricky. You understand? It's now looking at, okay, you say in the Constitution that people have the right to this, the right to that, the right to this, the right to that, right? And now the biggest right in children's rights, it's obviously the right to education for everybody, right? So now which children? Whose children? Why? You understand? Okay. And now you're looking at, okay, what are the procedures that are being taken when selections are being made on which children go to which schools? Because, we've heard how crammed classrooms are in the public schooling system. Most of us right here have had a public school education. You went to a public school, Muketi. Everybody, you went to a public school. I've heard, how in in the service delivery groups and in just forums where people are complaining or parents are complaining of the quality of education. And when we're speaking of the quality of education, it's always being said, Uguti, but guys, do you understand we're having to deal with crammed classrooms and also trying to now make sure that each learner gets the full experience of the quality of education. And then also we're looking at the type of teachers. So it's a whole lot. It's actually looking at the system holistically. Do you understand? So what the Operation Dudula is doing is actually bringing light to bigger issues. And that's why I'm saying that, guys, we need to be wary of addressing or redressing the symptoms and not addressing the root causes. Do you understand? So, this is just for me, it just signifies a broken educational system that needs to be looked at holistically and now, be reformed. When it comes to selection, zoning, even that registration system itself, right? I remember when, I had to get into Northcliffe and I had to get into every school that I had to go to. Right? It had to do with the fact of where I lived. They looked at where I lived, where my mom worked. And also, obviously, me as a learner, am I somebody who is willing to adapt to the values, the principles, of the school, the environment, that what the environment requires of me as a learner, and does my mom understand that? Do you understand? So it's a holistic problem. It's a problem that needs to be looked at holistically, and I see. And this is it goes back to like radical action, like now where people are now, since we're talking of emotions, this thing now operation Dudula kahle kahle idila ngama like radicalism. They're using radicalism to now redress and reform systems that are now broken, and now trying to like make them work again for the greater good of South Africans at its core.
I mean, what this is going to go back to is, what Mr. Tom was trying to do, the Minister of Home Affairs, when he was trying to get rid of illegal immigrants.
Okay.
Because if you can just notice, the trends of when it started to spike, when the illegal immigrants were, just being, moved to their original countries. You will notice when the minister was doing that, that is when Operation Dudula started to spike also, to say, oh, the minister is doing the same thing that we're doing. So let us take a huge initiative of taking things to our hands or into our organization and say we are supporting what the minister is doing. So let us do deep, intensive research. Okay, why are actually schools, being like they're just being overcrowded each and every time? And now the admissions online, they're open. So what they're trying to do is what they're doing is right and wrong at the same time, because they're trying to now avoid this thing. Your kid, who is a South African citizen, as a taller space for next year. You understand?
Remember when they were queuing at the beginning of when it was like queues and queues and queues of people, queuing outside like schools, trying to get their children into schools.
Yeah, so in one of the articles, Julius Malema mentioned that Operation Dudula is a group of thugs, right? The leader has taken a swipe at the anti-immigrant group Operation Dudula, calling it a group of thugs. The group is known for its harsh stance against foreign nationals, advocating for South Africans as a first preference for employment in sectors like education, employment, and health care. They've been involved in several controversies over their actions, such as blocking undocumented foreigners from receiving medical care in public clinics and hospitals. The group plans to target schools next to block illegal foreign children from entering state schools. Their actions have received mixed reactions from various groups, with some criticizing them for allegedly promoting xenophobia and violence against immigrants.
Okay, you see, that's when now, a phobia is now a fear, right? I need to address how this is, this, because language is since it's Heritage Day, language helps us form our thought patterns. It helps us form our opinions. It helps us, with how we perceive things, right? So when people use the word xenophobia, it's like the fear that people who are not from South Africa are, going to, like overtake the livelihoods of those who are South African. I don't think this is a fear, guys. I think this is a frustration. I holistically, I understand, and I understand, but I also condemn. You understand? It's a thing of, it goes with the emotions. People are frustrated, guys. Do you understand that there is a system? South Africa has been run like a company that has no proper structure in place. So now the employees are all over the place, and they others are struggling with I need my child to break out of the cycle of poverty. And now we're just seeing, so it's a frustration, guys. People are frustrated. So now they're like, how how best can we do this? But then to bring you back to a conversation I once when we're having this conversation, and how in other countries they run their their politics, or they run their systems. Guys, you cannot go to Nigeria and just first preference is given to Nigerians in Nigeria for business opportunities or anything that has to do, like I remember explaining to you guys, like in Nigeria, you as a South African or as someone outside of Nigeria, you cannot go and just decide you want to open a business there, willy-nilly, no papers or whatnot, or not even no papers, but there's a system, there's a process you go through in order to be, to benefit from the Nigerian economy, from the Nigerian government. As a foreigner.
Yeah.
Man, because like right now, I feel like the march is okay, right? But it's directed to the wrong place.
Okay.
Where they actually should be marching is to the Department of Education. Because they are the ones who regulate who goes where, who goes what,
Home
what's
affairs
happening.
as
Home affairs as well. You're marching to those schools, but the schools do not, in the end, the schools don't choose who comes to the school. Because eventually they all need to apply what? Online.
Okay.
And then online, when you go apply, I'm talking about this because of my little brother. We started applying for him for high school next year. You go and apply to the district. The district will tell you, we will notify. They even choose for you. These are the 5 top schools within your area that your son could go to. We will choose for you where your son will go.
Yeah.
We don't choose. It's not like before when we grew up. I could literally just go apply because it's closer to me. It's not like that now.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of contributing
Right now,
factors,
it's a lot, man. If I remember this, earlier this year, we had a mother who went on TikTok and she was raging. She was raging, complaining about the fact that the Department of Education put her son in an all-Afrikaans school. That child has never done Afrikaans in their life. They don't even know how to say goeiemôre meneer. They do not know how to say a single word in Afrikaans, yet the department placed them in an all-Afrikaner school. Imagine that. So meaning that they are much, yes, you want to make sure that when it comes to enrollment, South African kids get their first preference, but you are going to the wrong place. The Department of Education is the one that places the kids in those schools.
Yeah, man, Vooka Nation, this is a very sensitive topic, but also one that is quite necessary because, these are the kinds of conversations that shape our heritage and cultures, the traditions we hold close to our hearts. So, Vooka Nation, when you hear these stories, schools being disrupted, leaders calling for excellence, task teams failing to end political violence, what emotional tone do you think they put you in, right? Do they leave you frustrated, hopeful, angry, inspired, or maybe just tired of a system that keeps failing you and keeps failing its people? I don't know, man. Send us your voice note because the conversations and of course the headlines are, being discussed, and we are going to keep keeping you informed. Send us your voice notes or drop a comment and tell us, how you are feeling this morning regarding everything that we are sharing. We want to hear your thoughts, your opinions, and everything in between.
On the second one, Mashaba urges black excellence for Johannesburg mayoral leadership. So what is happening right now is Action SA leader Herman Mashaba said he will only run for Johannesburg mayor if no candidate of Dr. Nasipi Moya's caliber is found. Moya, the current Tshwane mayor, is praised by Mashaba as an example of black excellence. Meanwhile, the DA has put forward Helen Ziller as its candidate for Joburg. Context of this whole thing is that the Johannesburg mayoral race is shaping up as one of the most contested in Gauteng. Mashaba, a former mayor, is leveraging his influence to position Action SA as a key player in governing all 3 metros. His stance highlights an internal focus on nurturing strong black leadership while contrasting with the DA's choice of a seasoned veteran Ziller. So what's next is the coalition negotiations will be critical since no party is is expected to secure a majority. The big question is whether Mashaba will stay behind the scenes and as a kingmaker or step back into the mayoral seat if pushed by the party or voter demand. And of course, this sparked a lot of controversy as we saw some of the videos of Helen
Zilla, yeah, man.
You know, yeah.
Hey, we saw, she had that interview on that other
With
platform.
Anna Limdo.
Oh, Nkosiam, yeah. On that other platform. So, and then, it got personal when she was like, at your callers, your audience is asking better questions than you, sis. Like, she straight up was like, when
you say that,
basically,
when you say that, it reminds me of this other minister. I forgot his name. So he was also on a different platform and was getting an interview. Did he not insult the callers for the questions that they were asking him? Like, it clearly shows Uti, our ministers and politicians cannot handle the pit that they've put themselves in. Once we start asking the firing and the burning questions that we've always wanted to ask, they start to crumble. And when they crumble,
starts to feel like you're attacking them personally.
Yes, and it's not a
but also,
personal thing,
leadership
right?
is about personal qualities, isn't it? Personal qualities and strengths.
Yeah.
So, Action SA leader Herman Mashaba has put his focus on like leadership. So, literally, it's about the quality of leadership, right? So, essentially, he says he'll only stand in as mayor if his party cannot find someone of Dr. Nasipi Moya's caliber. So now, do you see how personal qualities affect the kind of leader you become and that you are? So, I'm not saying Gutu Helen Zilla, isn't a good leader or whatnot, but it's about we need to look at certain things, and certain things come into play, especially considering the complex heritage of our history in South Africa, right? So, his language was quite clear. And, we need black excellence at the forefront of politics, right? Because obviously right now, since at this point, and guys, we have to be honest, since it's Heritage Day, I think, the first thing we need to do on this day is be honest about our history and accept it for what it is, right? Yeah. Because only then can we truly change it and not keep talking circles around it, trying to be politically correct, right? So whether you agree with his politics or not, this raises a broader question. What kind of leaders are we nurturing, right? Are we creating a political heritage of integrity, excellence, and service? Because, since ANC has been in power, and that being a black party, it's really put black excellence as a thing that probably and maybe does not exist. But then we do get people like who Herman is now spotlighting, who is saying Unasipi Moya's caliber. Like, look at her as a person. Yeah. Look at her personal qualities as a person and what she holds dear. Is she somebody who really, maybe does she have integrity? Uguti, if she was offered a bribe, would she take it? Type of person. That's a personal thing. And that's why I say, when we look at leadership, it's a thing of ANC, but umangupe washo, because at the core, the struggle needed you to be a thug. But then that same kind of mentality cannot now be employed when now you have won the struggle. Now it's about, doing what you said you're going to do when you were fighting for what you were fighting for. Yeah. You understand? So that, brings in question these kind of, it brings to light these kind of questions, right? Which are, what kind of leaders are we nurturing? Are we creating a political heritage of integrity, excellence, and service? Or are we recycling old cycles of power struggles and personality politics?
Yeah. One thing, man, when it comes to Joburg as a whole, Joburg is guys, it's a den of thieves, and if you are up to become the mayor of Joburg, because now we are heading to the local elections, the leaders from each and every party that are part of the GNU are standing up now to say, guys, we have seen what is going on in Joburg and we can fix whatever that is going on. Because right now there's a certain incident that is going on in Coronationville where, you know,
water, bro,
you know, don't have water. And it's something that Helen Ziller, you know, first mentioned to say, guys, there are people who are suffering who don't have water for like months right now. So I think Joburg needs somebody who's going to be held accountable with what is going on. And like, if you can look at like Joburg's structure as a whole, if you look at the legislative arm, the executive arm that consists of the mayoral committee itself, you know, you would understand, for you to be in power, you know, you guys, you need to like each other.
Yeah.
You need to work
GNU,
together.
because it says Government of National Unity. The operative word being unity, like Pan-Africanism. It cannot work if you are not united.
You cannot, man.
It cannot work.
Because they drafted, you know,
You have to have one cause, one vision, one mission.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, because they were driving this whole narrative that yes, we are 1 year into the GNU and everything is working very well. But now there is the Madlanga Commission now that's also sparking, you know, a little bit of a shift inside the GNU to say some of you guys are implicated on the crimes that Mr. Mkwanazi is mentioning. So what do you mean that one of your party's candidate, you know, needs to be the mayor of Johannesburg? So we know that our people right now, they will vote out of desperation. They will vote because they need answers. They need solutions. With what happened with the Johannesburg street right there in Lillian Ngoi, it's something that, you know, when you look at the amount of work that was put in, you know, the time it took to fix like a mere street, it took time. Yes, there were engineering things that people did not understand in terms of undergoing the structural developments of the street, but the time it took and the budget, because a lot of money has been said it was you know, misused
it was
funds.
wasted, actually.
You understand? Yeah, so it's those kind of things when you look at the whole leadership of Johannesburg into saying, okay, who do we want as the Joburg mayor? Because right now we see that Dada, no one is talking about Dada Morero, you know, as the current, you know, Joburg mayor. But with Zele and Herman Mashaba up for the seat, we will see what the local elections are going to bring as a time.
Wait, didn't PA also say they wanted to put Kenukunene up for
Yeah, they
Are we
did.
still even gonna?
No, I'm literally
'Cause that
just
guy
mentioning
right
Uti.
now,
In the end, there's literally if you notice when it comes to this elections, especially the local ones, there's always going to be that one corrupt official that'll get nominated. Njani, I don't understand. And then you look at the 190 million they spent fixing that street. Yesterday, I passed there with a taxi.
It's paving.
Bo paving ya eng
Make it
ka re ne ba
like
tshwantse ba
paving.
kenye go skontiri mole ke matlapa mo strateng like eating Joe bricks that I could be using to build a one room.
Yeah.
They on the street, and I was baffled. I was like, wait, so y'all spend 190 million on bricks?
On these bricks in particular. Is
On
what you're trying to
bricks, I
say.
was shocked. I was like, okay. And if you notice, the street literally opened only after it came on fire. Only after people raised the question was, you guys have had this money for so long, but why is the street not open? It only opened after then,
And
it's not even fully open. There's still some areas that are still closed.
Yeah, and speaking quickly on that water issue,
Yeah.
you know, a coronation bill. Speaking, that's where I was born, by the way. Whoop whoop. Saying that's in Jing, no buntranyana. Magobukalat nyazala. You don't come for me. Don't come for me. Nyazala. So you know, there was a video that I saw on TikTok where this person is like, oh, my mom, she doesn't take anything seriously. This lady's walking up to like police who are, yeah, man. So we're still talking about the hot topics this morning that are making news headlines, of course, making waves in our political heritage landscape right here in Mzansi as we celebrate Heritage Day, man. The news headlines, they making us, yeah. But anyways, so I was commenting now, as we're speaking on the kind of leadership in our local municipality that, we should look out for, and, the debate around, who should be the mayor. Is it the mayor of Joburg, right? Yeah. Yes. So, so as I was saying, like in Coronationville, the situation in Coronationville, so this lady, this colored lady goes up to the police, and they're very friendly. They're like, the one even speaks Afrikaans, goeiemorgen madam, how are you, but like colloquially. So, and then they're using water. You know how when in remember during the struggle they used to spray with that water, like to like disband you.
Water
pressure. That pressure. That's what they were using to like. Not just rubber bullets, but also there was water. Like, guys, maranithi asinamanzi. Asinamanzi maranithi silwisa ngalento esicelayo. So she went up to the police. She's like, "Can I just take a shower?" Just there, I mean, you're already here with the water to just, to control the situation using water. To disband us using water. Might as well spray ngamanzi.
I mean, it's the same thing as like you are complaining with unemployment, then they slap you with a contract. Shang contract.
Contract your community service.
You understand?
Yeah, or jail sentence yoguti or fine yoguti. Okay, do community service. Like, just give me a job. Why don't you just give me a job? Yeah, like ngoba vele like intengi ikhala umsebenzi. So instead of finding me ngokuthi nyenzi community service, it's clear ukuthi you have space where I'm needed, where just give me a contract, bro.
Hey, but
give me a contract.
Put me to work.
Yeah, exactly, man. Because that's diabolic, man. Like, imagine I've been thirsty for 3 months. The next thing one thing they use, to stop me from protesting is water. Like, guys, what are we doing here?
And there's this talk, The Last Word, with Shahan Ramkisoon on ETV. So he was speaking on this, and he was talking on like when they asked that one guy, and the guy is like, Joe, the guy is like basically like, you telling us what our right is. We know we have the right to water, but what are you doing about it? Asiti, come here, and when we ask you these questions, when you tell us things we already know, we're asking for solutions, sir. We're not saying confirm what we already know. Of which that's what some of these politicians come and do when they come and address these situations. It's like, you just basically here to tell me what I already know. Like, man, Joe, you're not giving me a solution. You're just coming here to placate me with something that I already know using fancy language. Hey, comrade speak. No, angifuni comrade speak. Mina ngifuni solution, Joe. Angifuni comrade speak, because comrade speak doesn't speak to me as the ordinary South African. You can use comrade speak in the parliament, but to me, what does this mean to me? As umuntu right now who's sitting 3 months without amanzi.
Actually, Joe, because this water crisis.
So basically, you're telling me that you're gonna go back with your fancy suit and your
and go
your
drink
huge,
the water that I need.
Your huge salary, and benefit from me as a citizen. But Mina, right now I'm gonna be sitting still with the same problem, and you're supposed to be helping me with it. Hi.
Man, this water issue is broad, man. It's not even Coronationville alone. Like, there's some parts of Jersey that it shows me jungle. So I guess like the place, because even in Joburg they also do not have water. And then believe it or not, even in West Dean, they don't have water. Like, those water crisis is a national thing. It's not just regional. It's national.
In the South, I remember in the South there's this block of flats, or there's this one community, man. I remember going there to visit a friend. I forgot, but it's in the South. They they even got used to the situation. That's how bad it was. They got used to the situation where now they were like they've implemented like a system where now daily using tanks and whatnot and all of that.
Yeah. But with that being said, man, it is very important for like citizens, of wherever you are in, whether you're in the metropolitan city, outside, it is very important to know what is the duty of the mayor, because some of these things people just hear them, on the news, when you talk about them, like the only thing is like, hey, who's the mayor? But you don't know the duties of what the mayor is responsible of doing. This, like, it's what politicians always say.
Yeah.
Tell them what they need to hear, and then everything will just vanish, right? But let us know what you're thinking right there on YouTube by using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. We would like to hear some of your sentiments with the headlines that we are discussing right here. But with that being said, there's some comments coming through on YouTube. Let me just start off with the first one that came in from Tembimni saying, a very good morning to our energetic Vooka team. Hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. Hashtag Sivugile. A very good morning to you, Ma. And then happy Heritage Day, Vooka team and Vooka Nation. Wishing you a wonderful, blessed day ahead, and take care of yourself. Same applies to you.
Thank you,
and
Mommy.
the fam.
Thank you.
Come through and say King Mo and our queens morning. Simami come through, say hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. Good morning, Vooka Nation and the Vooka team. Hashtag Sivugile. Hashtag Happy Heritage Day. Right?
Hey, thank you guys, man. We hope you guys are also having a fantastic and wonderful Heritage Day.
Yeah, and then lastly, to close it off with our headlines, Masemola says the task team's success sparked intense political interest. The National Police Commissioner Fani Masemola testified at the Madlanga Commission that the KwaZulu-Natal political killing task team attracted heavy political attention, making its work highly sensitive. He noted that political killings escalated from 2011, which led to earlier task teams and the Mwerane Commissioner. The most recent PKTT was disbanded by the police minister Senzo Mchunu, who labeled it ineffective. So the political killings in KwaZulu-Natal have long been tied to internal party rivalries, especially within the ANC. The PKTT was meant to tackle these assassinations, but its disbandment raised concerns about government seriousness in addressing political violence. Masemola's testimony adds to the ongoing debate about whether SAPS has been compromised by political interference. What's next is that the Madlanga Commission will hear more testimonies from senior officials, including KZN Commissioner Ntantla Mkhwanazi. The findings could expose high-level interference and force new policing strategies, or even lead to the creation of another specialized task team. So with the commission, that is where we are, because one of the questions that Mr. Mkhwanazi asked and didn't understand from the Minister of Police is why are you disbanding the task team that is working? We saw that there were changes. Understand? When we brought the team, the political task killing team, these violences stopped, for months and months. But now you're coming and say we don't have the budget from this. And then, the commissioner was like, what do you mean budget? Like, what kind of budget are you talking about? Because this same budget you're talking about is coming from the SAPS internally. So you are disbanding the team that is being funded by the SAPS. Minister, what is going on? Can you answer on those allegations? That is why some of the commissioners like Bo Masemola, they're like, okay, the successes of these, they sparked political interest, which some of the killings that have been taking place, the hits, the marks that we have been seeing all over our news, and nothing was being done on that. Right, so we hope that the Madlanga Commission is going to bring all of the answers that South African citizens need to know, because we see that if you're a whistleblower in SA, you vanish quickly.
Yo, go back tricky, man, and hey, that's scary. That's the scariest part.
Like you literally end up on an unnecessary hit list.
You know, and I've seen Guti, this has happened even when with the councillors at Tepisong, right? Guys, counselors come with some counselors have come with good intentions, but ended up just surrendering to the corrupt system because they're like, Joe, I'm one man fighting against this whole system and these people are going to kill me. Where now there's intimidation. Remember the one that you spoke about, Guti, that one guy, Eslovo, the one counselor where they bamhorisa, Joe. Like, guys, a government, they're running it like a mafia, Joe. There are certain sectors in the government that are being run mafia style.
Yeah. And we
Marumangupu Shelly, let me no put them always say like Umangupe wash. My brother Jay always he was the one who used to like, I don't know, man, because you know I have some Tswana heritage, right? So my brother, because you know my brother and myself do not share the same father. My brother's father is Tswana. Was Tswana.
Yeah.
Mine was Umzulu.
Yeah.
Straight up. Gabi. So
And then your mom was Tswana.
Yeah, my mom was Tswana.
You must explain properly for the people.
So now you see, so he would always reference Umangupe when he spoke on like the government, like. Yes, guys, Marumangupe had a point. Like Umangupe, I feel like if South Africa was run like Botswana, ngaba we would be so much better off because that guy, he like, I remember when they wanted independence from South Africa, they were like, because of the ANC, because the guy these ones they mafia style, mafia straight up.
Yeah, man. I mean that's the thing with our South African government, because one thing people don't understand is that we have a lot of understand. Let's say we have a policy here, right? And these policies, they are meant to show us, if the money comes in here, you should spend the money and you should write down, this is the money that I got and this is the amount of money that I'm going to spend, right? So if no one is not recognizing, now I am taking 10 rand, but I am writing that I've spent 2 rands. You know, it's those kind of things that go on, you know.
I get it, Joe. It's the mindset they had to employ during apartheid. Like you say, because like I understanding, like, you know, sitting with my mom and my brother, I got to understand how people had to live in apartheid times. You had to lie a lot. Like you had to be like cunning, deceiving. Like you have to maneuver yourself. Like you get yourself out of that that situation without, you know, suffering the consequences of an unfair system already.
Yeah.
You understand? Because Vele, like Bazague, already expecting you to be a certain type of person.
Yeah.
So like you had to, like, you know, make it seem like you're not, but also trying to fight for justice and, you know, ubulungiswa. So
yeah, well, so the political interference, man, it's because we looking up to these politicians, we vote for them, we put them in power, you know. And you just imagine living with that guilt. I'm the one who voted for that person now who is being, you know, in these whole allegations of corruption. So those are the things that we are looking into. But we hope that the commission is going to bring down everyone who was implicated on those crimes, just to restructure the policies and restructure the systems that have been put, because some of those systems and policies, they're old systems that are being abused right now. So let us integrate into modern policies and let us work for, you know, the citizens of the country. That is what Mr. Mkwanazi was saying, to say some people, they just talk to the, you know, residents, they talk to the citizens, but they don't talk with action. But what do we do as a nation to say we want our leaders to talk with action? It's when we put them in power, but now power with a purpose. Know why you are voting as a South African, because they're always saying register to vote. You know, when you turn this age, register to vote. But young people are asking, why am I voting? These are some of the questions that you need to ask.
I remember
also.
myself, even during elections, right? Even my mom, right, was like, like Ngvutilani? Like that was the main question a lot of people were asking, like ordinary South African citizens. I mean, obviously there's different classes, right? I mean, middle class to your middle to upper middle class. They because of also the way that they understand things like rights and like the system in itself when it comes to certain intellectual what can I say, systems. Yes. They like, okay, this is how I understand. But like, let's talk about the people that have to live the lives they live every day, that are like, when you look here, it's like despair, frustration. And that's why I'm saying, like, then you get the emergence of like these activist groups that are like showing the frustration of the ordinary, like law, waseka, say township. And like, these are things, you have to recognize that holistically we're a mixed bag of different individuals, right? Because we also have different levels of education. There's formal education, informal education. There's also, perspectives. There's also different so this is like a whole lot of factors that play into a bigger system that needs to work and progress and be able to produce an environment that is, constructive and that is beneficial for everyone. But now everyone being who also, so there's a lot.
With that being said, man, just talk to us. Let us know what are your sentiments with some of the headlines that we've just went through. 27 minutes past 8. It is the time. What we're going to do right now is to take a short break and let all of the things that we're discussing right here process and digest through your mind. And if you're ready to share your sentiments, you can come through on our social, on our comment section on YouTube. So please do make sure that you do not go anywhere. Don't switch the dial as you're taking this short break. And then when you come back, man, we're going to give you your daily dose of positivity that is also mixed up with some of the significant things that took place in history, right? Your daily bread. So please do make sure, don't switch the dial as we are taking this short break.
In my mouth is a desert, running dry on the tip of my tongue. I can taste your lies, how to measure the love you throw around. I could never hold you down. One of us so you went away. But you still would stay in my dream. Now you're back for more. Why you in my reality? My head closed the door. Even though my heart just won't leave. That was then, can't go back. Hurts so bad, had to block out the memory. If we try again, start from scratch. You wanna pick up where we left off, but you've been gone away. You've been gone away so long. Since you've been gone away, you've been gone away so long. I forgot your middle name, I forgot your birthday. You still wear cologne the same, like it in the worst way. You've been gone away. Since you've been gone away, you've been gone away. 11 days, 11 days, 11.
Good music, good vibes is what we're bringing you on this wonderful Wednesday morning. You know that we are getting rid of that midweek slump. And yes, of course, if you've just joined in and no one has never told you, happy Heritage Day. It is Heritage Day. I know some of us, man, when it comes to Heritage Day, it's like, yo, guys, I just want to sleep. What are you celebrating?
It's been a long
Shwe,
week.
like,
It's my day off today. I don't need to go into the
Yeah.
office. So nje, I'm gonna sleep in. Naleyo vuka ngizoyibona. Hey,
I mean,
bruh.
on my way here, I mean, the streets were empty.
Joe, quiet kanjani?
Like,
Public holiday,
It's
Joe.
quiet. Abantu bamelu 7.
Can I tell you, for the love of it, I felt like waking up my little brother and son just for the fact that
Hawu, Nkosi yami.
for the fact that abavugi mina ngiyavuga. I looked at them and my mama went back.
I mean, what kind of heritage are we celebrating? Because back in the days, you know, our forefathers and our grandmothers, they used to wake up early in the morning because they understood, you know, what just waking up in the morning brings. The morning
Does
peace.
to you, yeah, right?
Yeah.
Because like, you know, when you wake up early in the morning, like the thing where parents and kids we wake up bapegilanga,
Yeah.
like literally a sunrise, like
guys.
ritual where sipegilanga
Yeah.
livela, like the rising of the sun. It was significant in African culture and tradition and in family structures and in bonding.
Yeah.
You know, because that's how we bonded. We bonded through nature. We bonded through the way we lived.
Yeah.
We bonded through our traditions, the things we do culturally in J. But you know, it also just reminds me, Uguti, like, you know, when it comes to language that we use these days, right? I think it sometimes also just like tears us apart. Because I've also noticed how you know, when it comes to conflict or differing opinions,
Yeah.
you know, amen. How can we constructively, I mean, we've seen in the headlines, like we were discussing now, you know, with Operation Dula, you know, at its core, you know, it's got something there. They're trying to do a good thing, but they're not going about it the right way. Same way, like when we have arguments or disagreements or conflicts within relationships, like whether it's friendships or whatever kind of relationship, but like how do you then properly, what kind of language do you guys understand, the language you guys both use in that argument? Do you understand what the words you're saying to each other mean? And now also, because of how, you know, you have to also understand that every one of us has a different experience or has a different upbringing. Like what common ground can we come to, you know, where now this issue can be resolved and we move forward?
Yeah. I mean, it also speaks to some of the suspension of the cultural like hierarchy that we have seen over time. You know, as time goes on, man, things evolve. Because I remember when we were learning the difference between, I think it was tradition and heritage, you know, and culture, if I'm not mistaken. Because one evolves and the other doesn't. But now they have just made everything to evolve. You know, like we can't make culture to evolve like in a radical way, man. Because
I mean,
that's why
at the end of the day, I think Maralo, was it Maralo that she spoke to you out there at Morris Isaacson School of music.
Yeah.
And
Just say
Mickham,
Mickham.
Mickham, yeah. Yo, Nkosi yami, Jesu.
Just say Mickham.
Mickham, yes.
Oh, by the way, they're also having a Heritage Day concert today, but it's for the students and the parents, man.
Yeah, man. I remember we enjoyed so much. We enjoyed so much, and you know, those are the kind of things that form part of our heritage here in G. Our culture, Vooka Breakfast Show. You know, those are the kinds of people that we have had here, and they've shaped how we have developed as a platform.
Yeah.
So like she came on Uguti, you know, like at the essence of like Uguba Africa, you cannot take away what makes me African and then still say I'm an African. You know, she's been very vocal. Yeah, she's been a very vocal voice when it comes to, you know, Africanism.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we were celebrating Africa Day on that day. So these events and all these things are culturally, you can even see how some of these national and public holidays that we have, like they kind of form into each other in shaping us as people and speaking to who we are as a nation, you know? So yeah, man. Today I've been on a very reflective tip.
Yeah,
it's Wednesday.
And some things, you know, and the trend that we are seeing is just that schools are using this opportunity, you know. I've seen, you know, this other article, you know, was written by this other lady saying that schools are seeing that at home culture is not practiced, right? So let us use this opportunity to say, let your kids come. You know, we're going to have a cultural day. You know, there's somebody's going to come and perform. Your kids, you know, needs to pay this amount of money. Yeah. You know, your kids needs to pay this amount of money. There's letters, we're going to have a cultural or traditional day, event day at school. So kids needs to wear like their traditional, because a lot of kids, they get, you know, confused, or what is it that I'm supposed to wear, Nkosi yami, you know? So
I was actually speaking to Banele Izolo regarding, like, you know, at its core, at our core as the Vooka Breakfast Show, like, where are we positioning ourselves when it comes to the greater landscape, the South African societal landscape? Yes. So who are we? You know, who are we as a platform, right? And I was saying, because of honestly the contributions that each of us bring, and predominantly we're cultural. Well, I would like to think the collaboration between, you know, Prime Cut Creatives, Vooka Breakfast Show, and every individual here, individual brand of the presenters, their personal brands. We're kind of like cultural curators. If I think, because like we're looking to shape the culture. We're looking to shape the traditions people practice in their lives through their lifestyle. You understand? Because we're promoting a mindful lifestyle. We're promoting, you know, knowing your rights. You know, being informed. We want we are for a certain type of individual here. True. You need to think a certain kind of way. You need to hold certain values when you subscribe to, if you call yourself as a Vooka Nation member, if you're saying, when are you a Vooka soldier, which we such a, let's say Vooka, which when are you a part of the Vooka Nation, you have to, you're a certain type of individual. And that's not wrong. It's not a thing of we trying to discriminate others, but it's like, you know, you're carving your own path, and it's a thing of, but this is who we are. Celebrate me for who I am, without trying to take away from who I am.
Yeah, man. I mean, you know, it's the deep, just looking to deep historical cultures, you know, because we can also use the patterns that have been used, you know, back in the days. Because when somebody is having like identity crisis, they try by all means to say, guys, I just want to know that smaller thing they did.
So yeah, with me, it's the story of my conception. Always, I think my mom. You know, because I've been having a very tricky time mentally. You know, and as a mental health advocate, one thing that I always encourage is vulnerability and authenticity. Like, be real with people, you know. Don't pretend it's all positivity. I don't call myself the positivity dose of the day because I'm always positive. No. I call myself the positivity dose of the day because I'm always trying to learn and grow from any difficulty that I face, and also not shying away from the thing that the darkness that I experience actually plays into the light that I am.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So my mom was
like trying to, whenever I'm down and I'm not at my best and I'm crying and I'm feeling like my world is crumbling and, life is lifing and it's attacking me, she'll always, one thing that she will do is like remind me of who I am and how I came into this world.
Yeah.
Right? She will. So there was this one tribe I read up on in Africa where at your birth, they made a song for you. So there's a name they give you. Like, I think this is also true when you do Maui Sangoma. The name that you got given, Guti Kokos Banbani, it's because of the purpose you're supposed to serve.
Yeah.
Right? So there was a song when someone is born, and even in the names were not just given. They were carefully thought out, because now you're looking to this child. You're setting this child up. You're giving them their purpose. You're handing them their purpose at birth when you give them their name.
Yeah.
Right? So, and then she would tell me, igama lakho uthandiwe, right? Uthandiwe.
Yeah.
I asked God for you. I prayed God for a baby girl. You are the first born daughter. I had 3 boys, and I thought that God had given up on me when it comes to children, when it comes to giving me. I'd look at mothers connecting with their little daughters, and I'd just be envious of that relationship. And I came to find out that came from her own need as a little girl to bond with her own mother.
Yeah.
So she was like, I wish I had a daughter that I can now, instead of, that I can do that with. Now that now speaks to generational healing and generational curses.
Yeah.
You see? So, she's on some, I wanted you because I'm like, yo, man, I've just seen these little girls, these mothers, and dressing their little girls up. And I've always wanted to have that bond with my mom, but I wanted now to give birth to that.
Yeah.
You see? So she's like, and then one day I had a dream. You came to me in a dream. Like, I remember an old lady coming to me in my dream and like birthing you in my dreams and putting you behind your third eldest brother. And then months down the line, you were conceived. I found out that you were conceived. And then months down the line also, before I even found out you were pregnant, a doctor tried to forcefully, without my consent, abort you. But you withstood that.
Yeah.
You are here, my child.
Yeah.
You are not here by mistake. You have a purpose.
Powerful, man.
Yeah,
man. I mean, it's these things that, parents downplay, man, just to let their kids know how were they born into this world, the experience. Because when you feel like I know
Extra will like literally not agree with me. He feels like talking solves nothing. He's like, no, let's not talk, let's just do, But I mean, we all have different ways of healing, right, and arriving to a conclusion.
Yeah.
So I can accept that.
Yeah, guys,
no, but then I mean, because we're gonna have the odd plate experience right there at Lebu Soweto Backpackers, and of course it's Heritage Day, we were looking to actually call Uextra, who's already out there.
Yeah, man.
Kipani Asboni saying because he's also out there with his son.
Oh.
Yes, he's there.
Wait, which son?
Nice.
His eldest son.
Oh, because
he's only got one son.
No, he has two kids.
Sorry, they two.
Yeah, he has two
He's got
boys.
two sons. Yes,
So hence I'm asking which son, because I know one thing for sure.
Yeah, Nonina is too young. So
I've never seen the firstborn, so today it'll be like the first son that I'm experiencing that.
Because now what if Palesa knows I have one child? The next thing when you're asking which son is this one?
I know. You see, when it comes to Extra, one thing I can tell you is that he's a proud dad. He will not. He does not hide the
why
fact
would you
that
hide
he
your
has
children?
2 kids. He's
also,
very
why
proud.
would you hide your children? That's
no.
He's proud. Give me.
Yo.
Yeah, that's true. Because for me, I know one thing for sure. I've always had him. He's like super proud for being the dad that he is to his kids. And he always, like, me and him have moments or days where we just like sit and like become real with each other's friends. Although in the end we'll become goofballs the way we are, but we do discuss the fact. We do talk about.
But it tells you on like citing. I think
confidentially is what you're trying to say. Confidentially is what you're trying to say, like, because in confidence, because of the relationship
not
we
really.
have.
Not really in confidence, but if he were to say it on the show, then it's like I'm letting the world know.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's okay, because he said he's got 2 kids.
True, you understand? It's not hiding, guys. I understand because sometimes for me it's like you'll never know what really took me, to be where I am. Because sometimes like each and every story to your birth, like it has a significant this is where I'm going to tell the people about what happened, because right now I'm sounding a little bit, hey, you understand, but I think for most guys it's like, even if I have Banabai 6, but when I can tell you now I have 3, like it's none of your business, guys. Don't mind now I have 6, but I'm telling Palisa I have 3 and things like that. What if I consider the first 3 yeah?
Okay, never mind.
Also, I'll give you a practical example. Like in my case, in terms of like ukuluma or the tongue, ne? I've got 3 kids, and I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
And then you hear me one day and you know I've got a daughter. Only one child. I'm like, no, biological, I've got one daughter.
No, I get that. That's basically.
So I'm saying sometimes I wanna, hey man, let's not reveal because, because someone heard me say I've got just one daughter, and the next thing is like I'm doing 3.
No, Leia, it's all
Context. I mean, context.
People once got confused, guy, because I told them, I was like, you know what? I'm a mother of 3, but I gave birth to 1.
Wabo.
And like Jan, I'm like, I have the other 2 are my siblings, and I've been taking care of them.
You're mothering your siblings is what you're trying to say.
That's
to the
what
people.
I'm saying because of my unique family situation. I have been their mother, especially the second, but I've been his mother like straight up from birth. He called me mom. As Sazala. No, it may appear funny, but in terms of everything, even at school, I'm the person they call.
I'm saying I understand, like mothering your siblings, it's a thing, like where people, I mean, you've heard of child-headed households, Banele. So where someone as much as, but you take on the role of a mother, so then you consider yourself, you identify yourself with that role. Then you're like, identity plays into that, into your heritage.
Because even right now,
do we say parenting or do we say like you are mothering?
In a way, for me, I consider it mothering because almost each and every single need that they have, I take care of it. Hence, I say I'm a mother of 3, but I gave birth to 1. At school, my little brother, if anything happens, they call me. They don't call at home. I am the first contact. If Hamame Luko Skolo, before they can even call my mom, because I went to the same primary school too, the teachers personally call me, this is what your little brother has been doing. Please come and solve this. It has been like that for the longest time. There have been moments when my mom went MIA for 3 years and I had to step up for him. 3 years, I went through all the meetings, all the clinics, all the what. So hence I say I am a mother
of 3,
but
I only gave
instead
birth
of
to 1.
Yes.
Okay.
So now coming back to Extra has 2 kids.
Okay.
And we say it live. I'm asking if that's appropriate. Ngoba upale sumtshela ukuthi ano mina I've got 1.
Yeah.
And Toguti is right, but he's not going to explain. Ukuthi no, I only fathered 1, but that's what we are asking here. Ukuthi, should we be saying that when on 2 na 1 unless he has publicly said it?
Because sometimes
all of this because I'm just like, let's call extra Nissan out at Lebu's backpackers. Jeez, man. I knew,
you're right. No, you're right.
If I knew that,
the question was, Kanti, unabantwana bayingaki? We don't know. And it could be an adopted son, so it's one of those.
Yeah, so unomntwanakhe.
Yeah, that's what I said. He's at his son. He's with his son at Soweto Lebu's backpackers, and I mean that's an event that we have Soweto backpackers.
But if you have his number, please forward it to me so that we can call Extra.
Call him,
man, in terms of the update.
Yeah, so while
I'll forward it right now.
And while we get Extra on the line, man, your daily bread, Mr. Maimani is about to get into your history lesson of the day, because of course, at 9 o'clock onwards, we are expecting to get Osvaldo Nyaka in studio, and we are going to obviously go into the mind basket and explore the topic, what do you bring to the table?
Yeah, and going straight to what we have today in history, as we know that we are celebrating first celebration of the National Heritage Day on this day. So this day honors South Africa's diverse cultures and traditions. Original Shaka Day in KwaZulu, it becomes a national holiday after the Inkatha Freedom Party advocated for broader cultural recognition. Nelson Mandela emphasized its role in nation building. The Bribe for Heritage initiative, supported by Desmond Tutu, encourages unity through shared traditions like braais, symbolizing togetherness across languages, races, and beliefs. Right, in which, guys, I believe that we do have other things in history, but this one, it really, saddens me, because Rona, when we talk about heritage, we come out as people who are deeply wounded, when you look at our past, and because they always say, brah, like, connect the dots, where do you come from? The only thing you're just looking into, it's, the apartheid eras, where your forefathers were born and they were taken, like, that opportunity for them to know themselves, their true identity was taken away from them. Even our parents, they come into this generation and say, hey, you understand? Like, and
I mean, when we spoke about Gayton and how he had to now, his dad had to go from Mackay to Mackenzie because of like better opportunities during a system where they were being discriminated against. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's that kind of stuff, that really, really, really lets you know and understand why we commemorate and have, going back to the core of things. I feel like, with the frivolous nature of our society today and the fast-pacedness of it, like here today, gone tomorrow, is that we've started to lose the meaning of things. What they mean, the core value at its core. Even words are said carelessly. The word I love you, Nje, I love you. As long as like it's like, it's like we've forgotten the meaning of things.
Dallas Bapula. Not about Pulil, I mean. I've been on both sides.
So, speaking of which, now, thank you, Mwekiti, that you've given us that day, that moment in history, right? I want to go into what the definition of the word heritage. So, heritage refers to the tradition. So it's there's different heritages, right? There's one heritage, but it's got different elements. So heritage has different elements. So there's cultural heritage. So that's the traditions, beliefs, languages, customs, art, and artifacts passed down from previous generations. And then there's inherited legacy, something handed down from ancestors. So our parents, people like that, including values, stories, or property. So now that's when we talk know your rights, like wills, why someone should have a will. So inherited legacy. And then historical significance. So that's landmarks, monuments, or natural sites considered valuable, or natural sites considered valuable to a community or nation. So in short, heritage equals what we inherit from the past, both tangible and intangible. So both physical and just, that shapes who we are today.
Sorry to cut you right there. I see, man. We have extra.
Read all about it. What's up?
What are you wearing? What are you wearing?
I'm wearing heritage.
Man, tell us what's going on right there, man. Take us through the preparation and who's there and what should people be looking forward to, man. And you can swap the cam, ne? Not swap, man.
All right.
Rotate.
Sifuna back camera ukuthi sibona sifuna ubuso bakho umubi.
Man.
All right, guys. As you can see, it's early in the morning.
Yeah.
Yes.
There we've got
Hanika.
Hi, Hanika.
Hello.
a great question. All right, as you can see, we're going through the preparations, guys.
Ah, man.
Oh,
going.
the fire is going, man.
Pots are potting, man.
So as you can see, our chefs are busy.
Yeah, man.
Busy chopping up.
Yeah.
Let me take you to the kitchen where the rest of our chefs are busy.
So,
Guys,
chef.
there's veggies for days today.
Yeah, so chef, I want to understand, and for somebody who is watching and listening right now, in terms of like the odd plate, can you just go through, the whole purpose of the event? Because Haneke also mentioned that people have to use their creativity in the kitchen, of course, to cook. So, what is going on? Are chefs being creative with what is being given to them right there?
Yeah, definitely. As you can see, we're working with a lot of vegetables.
Yeah.
So we have a variety of vegetables that we are working with. It's not only vegetables. As you can see here, let me just show the guys what we're working with.
Oh, by the way, hi to the people in the kitchen.
hello,
Hi to everybody cooking.
So they're working with bagels.
Nice.
So just try to be creative here, guys.
Wow.
So the kitchen is looking green.
Broccoli.
Ooh, man. Hey, man, we're gonna come through. We're gonna pull through with that amapela spice.
I'm taking you through all the ingredients. So these are rescued ingredients, guys.
Yeah.
So they're still fresh. See, all the vegetables are chopped up.
Nice, man.
What?
Nice. And they look
So
fresh.
we're still preparing. So that the dishes are coming together. What's going to happen is, as you can see, we have our fireplace
Yeah.
where most of the cooking is going to take place.
Okay.
Internet yakho yanteka.
Yeah, man. But
Internet ya taker.
yeah, but Mr. Chef, I see you right there.
Yo, we've got so many chefs in that kitchen today.
Yeah.
Yeah, so far, we don't have any veggies on the. This is the protein, guys. This is the meat, by the way.
What meat is it?
So the
Rescued
the
meat.
veggies are still being prepared, cut up. So there are some dishes that are. Just name a few. We have a veggie biryani.
Okay.
We're gonna be doing the famous mushroom sauce.
Nice. Your favorite.
So I'm sure by the time you get here, you're gonna find a fully built. Here's the star.
Yeah.
Mom Fatima.
Fatima, hello.
That's from studio.
Oh, we good, Fatima. We good.
Yeah, chef. Oh man.
We can't wait for you guys to get here,
Yeah, man, we can't wait to come.
Right there, yeah, but thank you so much, man. Extra, we're gonna have to let you go.
Oh, yeah, man.
As you have given us a snapshot of what is taking place right there. We're going to leave you, of course, to prepare because you know that you have a lot of work to do right there. But with that being said, chef, we will see you when the time has hit right on the dot. Salute, Michelle.
Salut.
Yeah, man. Chef Extra right there, man, at Soweto's Backpackers.
Yeah, man, I
right
love what he's wearing. That top.
The top, it's giving.
It's giving.
It's giving Putu Kobe. Understand?
Nigeria.
Yeah. Understand? Embracing our brothers. And another thing that I wanted to touch on, before we take a short break, because Mr. Osvaldo is right here in the studio, is the togetherness and the language, because you were still going through some of the meaning of the heritage.
Of heritage.
Yeah,
man.
and some of the things that, guys, we did not know, like we are complaining, we are a country that is diverse and we have so many languages. So with me right here, I have like top 10 countries that have the most spoken languages in the world.
Wow.
And the first one we have Papua New Guinea, right, which consists of 840 languages.
Ooh.
Right, and then in Indonesia is number 2 is Indonesia with 712 languages.
Sure.
And then Nigeria 522 languages. India 454 languages. The United States 326 languages. Right, Australia 314, China 308, Mexico 292, Cameroon 275, Brazil number 10, which consists of 221 spoken languages, right? Influenced by the indigenous tribes, of course. Colonization is part of the thing, waves of immigration and things like that. So those are the languages that are being spoken in those countries. Rona re palelwa ke bo kgoe more till today.
Just a quick one. So with languages, there's official languages.
Yes.
And
So we've got, and then the spoken. right?
Colloquial
So-
languages.
Yeah.
And also dialects where I'm wondering if these numbers also count that.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I
they-
believe
I'm
here
sure
in
they
S-
do.
They
I believe
do.
in SA it's like 20 spoken languages. You know, including both Portuguese and
Portuguese.
Mandarin also is being spoken in this
Yes, they
country.
do actually teach Mandarin here in South
Understand.
Africa. You also have a bit of French, which I did in high school.
Nice.
So we do have like a whole lot of languages that are spoken in South Africa, and when you like, it shows you that the world is universal, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
man.
world is universal. Everybody has their own language that could actually combine everybody to create something fantastic. It's all about just becoming one. Michael Jackson did say that we are the world, man.
We are the
Eh,
world. But man, if you're wondering how many days into this calendar we are in, but of course, you know what I have to say to everybody who uses the African calendar, Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Happy New
Inzalo
Year.
yelanga, you know,
Where's
heritage.
the New Year, okay? Mo is so low, Ethiopia.
So anyways,
Guys are like, look, I said talk. Like, what am I
I
saying?
get
Like,
it. You,
I get
it's
it.
the TikTok,
TikTok
it's the
trend,
TikTok trend
where they go there. There's
play
like,
the-
you know, when you're trying to get that free airtime
Yeah.
for my friend, and then you need to start dancing.
but Indians do that. I'm like, Aibo.
Okay.
Not, it's a bit different from how they do it in India.
He's a lord in South Africa. That's all I can say. But yeah, man, the days that we are into the year is today is the 267th, ooh, 267th day of the year, and of course 268th in a leap year, and we're using the Gregorian calendar, and of course there is 99 days left of this Gregorian year, and of course there's only 13 weeks remaining from today. So Yazininji, I don't know, man. What are you gonna do with that time? I think Musi was asking, is there anything special? I mean, today is a day that maybe you can make one small act or take one small act into achieving something you've always wanted to achieve. I mean, on your cultural bucket list. I don't know. We did picture of the day and we gave you Hartepiespoort Dam. I know right there, there's a place called Little Paris. You can go visit and you can put a lock on there with your lover.
Like people actually know in actual Paris, France.
Yeah, and of course, you know, the national day that we're celebrating today is, of course, National Heritage Day. And, it was previously known as Shaka Day, by the way. Amazulu. I want to Amazulu. Dala. Si
Don't get
influences
excited, bruh. No.
Dala si influenza. Singama influenza.
It's fine. That's what we call naming rights. Give them the naming rights. Banigeni.
So, the day was previously known as Shaka Day and was celebrated in KZN. It was changed to National Heritage Day in 2004 when a compromise was reached between the new government and the IFP. So you see how politics and such things play into these things.
Oh, the Nkomazi fighting Papa.
Inkatha. Oh, wow. Inkatha Freedom Party, Afroberry. And then on the day, all are encouraged to celebrate their cultural traditions in the wider context of the diversity of cultures, beliefs, and traditions that make up the South African nation. Of course, recently the day has also come to be known as Bride Day. You can go and check out our Bride Day feature that Amapelepele gave us on their page. Go check it out. Banele being the star of the show there. The Braai for Heritage initiative encourages all South Africans to have a braai on the 24th of September as a way of celebrating our diversity. The Department of Arts and Culture has declared the theme for 2012. I don't know why we're talking about the 2012 theme instead of the one for 2025, but okay. To be celebrating heroes and heroines of our liberation struggle. This is in reference to the African National Congress's 100-year anniversary. I think in 2012 they were making their 100-year anniversary. So I think that's why they were looking at celebrating heroes and heroines of our liberation struggle. And I think ever since then, that thing has been kind of the theme mostly for like black South African groups. Where we always spotlight your Enoch Santongas, your whoever, everybody. Because I think even today when we were going to celebrate that he was the one that
Nkosi Sikelel.
yeah, today in history, yes.
Man, fun fact, ne? So this weekend, Nhlilin Tando Sam, and she played for me the national anthem yase Tanzania. Right?
They sound similar to you.
Yo,
Sounds
sure.
similar to ours, right?
Yeah. Did you hear that? So
Yeah.
it's not only Tanzania, there's also another country as well.
A
where
lot
the
of
melody
African
is the same.
countries, because every time when I watch like Bafana playing friendlies with these teams, like you would hear the similarities when the song plays right there. But
About Enoch Sontonga, right? So man, that is that
got
is
stolen.
the history.
No, it doesn't.
Yes,
When
it's-
at
oh,
TC.
it doesn't.
It doesn't.
Knocked it.
It
Who knocked
doesn't.
it?
it was
Enoch.
stolen,
Knock.
guys.
Oh, Enoch knocked it.
Hi guys,
It was
read up the
stolen.
history, man. Okay, you know what? So it is not only it does not conclude there. We're also celebrating World Gorilla Day. Gorilla Day.
Oh my goodness. That sounded like a disease, man.
Glorilla, you don't know Glorilla the
Gorilla's a
rapper.
rapper.
Yo, that sounded like a disease. Like, yo, man. My Glorilla is
World
out,
Glorilla
yo.
Day. Wow.
We're also celebrating World Gorilla Day. I miss my teddy bear right now. World Gorilla Day began in 2017 and was internationally placed on September the 24th to honor the day in 1967 when Diane Fossey established the Karasoki Research Center in Rwanda, an anchor for modern gorilla science and protection. From the start, zoos, parks, and non-profit turned the observance into something hands-on. Keeper talks, school activities, and simple actions ordinary people can take at home. One hallmark is the Gorillas on the Line Answer the Call campaign, which encourages recycling old phones and small electronics to reduce demand for Carlton mined in gorilla habitats.
I remember the movie Mighty Joe Young was made around this. Yeah.
And another thing, fun facts about gorillas, they are very clever and have been recorded making and using tools. Scientists have spotted wild gorillas using sticks to work out the depth of rivers and streams, making ladders from bamboo to help baby gorillas reach the treetops, and even fashioning cutlery from twigs, helping them to scoop up and snack on stinging insects. Gorillas can live up to 40 years old, so they have a lot of time.
Remember when the whole conversation came about how we as humans evolved from
Homo
Yeah,
sapiens.
they're your cousins.
what? Really? Are you really going to make that? That's a very
I get it. TC, they say we are Homo
controversial-
sapiens, man.
That's what they're saying. I'm saying that they saying that we are.
They
cousins.
cousins. They are cousins.
I'm like, you so
Who are
complain,
these people and why?
but you even so Planet of the Apes, man. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, guys,
let's
they're
just
smart,
seize this
whole
thing.
do cutlery, do step ladders. I mean,
narrative.
we can put them in our society, guys. Hire gorillas, guys.
Okay.
Instead of complaining human beings, just fetch gorillas from the wild.
They're gonna whip
from
you.
the forest. Yeah, because they are like 10 times stronger than humans, and they can bend iron.
One
You
smack you be
understand?
dead.
So you don't need like a human, what you call security guard. Just put a gorilla on the gate.
Yeah, vela kunamuntu
Your problems are
ozongena.
solved.
Nobody's gonna be brave enough to actually enter. And then moving on to our inventions, the first powered airship in 1852. Clifford created the world's first airship that could carry a person and be stayed. It was called the Griffith dirigible. This amazing machine was filled with hydrogas, which made it float. It had a special steam engine that weighed over 180 kilograms, about 400 pounds. This engine had 3 horsepower power and powered propeller, just like on a boat. To make sure it was safe, Gifford added a funnel pointing downwards. This helped stop marks from the engines from reaching the hydrogen gas bag. He also put a vertical radar to help steer the ship. On September the 24th in 1852, Gifford made history. He took his airship on its first controlled flight. He traveled about 27 kilometers, which is equivalent to 17 miles, from Paris to Elancourt. The wind was very, oh gosh. Ihambile TC. Yo.
The wind was what?
The wind. I can't see now. I don't know what happened here.
Okay, yeah, but
Gone with the wind.
yeah, there you go. Gone with the wind.
Yes, the wind was very strong that day, so he couldn't fly back to where he started, but he could make turns and fly around in circles. This proved that a powered airship could be steered and controlled in the air. It was a huge step forward for aviation.
Nice. Interesting.
Nice, man. Yeah.
So celebrity birthdays for today, man. I don't know if you know this guy, but of course, Trinidad James is celebrating his birthday today, and he's turning 38 years old. He shot to fame with his 2012 hit single "All Gold Everything," which cracked the Billboard Hot 100 and earned platinum status. And of course, he's not there's no publicly recorded status of his marriage.
Yeah.
So we don't know if he's married or not. But an interesting fact about him, he suffered a head injury as a child and claims he can't remember anything before age 7. So, yeah, and of course, somebody who's been making headlines since 2014, Senzo Meyiwa, would be celebrating his birthday today. And he would have also been turning 38 years old. But of course, like I said, he tragically passed away in 2014. And of course, he rose to fame by becoming a national hero as Orlando Pirates' goalkeeper and captain of South Africa's national team, Bafana. And he was married to Mandisa Meyiwa and Ujole Nokeli Kumalo. Also romantically linked.
Is that written?
But yeah. Also romantically linked to singer at the same time of his death.
Okay, Mara, it's not written Ujole.
I mean, I'm using, it's Heritage Day. Allow me to use the languages we all know. Okay. He famously, as an interesting fact about him, he famously saved 2 penalties. I think Mwekezi, because you're a soccer fan. He famously saved 2 penalties in a CAF Champions League match against TP Mazembe, helping Pirates reach the final
Of the CAF Champions League.
Yes, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to circle back. You're right. He is a goalkeeper.
Wow.
Nobody was, though.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Was a
And may his soul continue to rest in peace as his trial also continues.
Yeah,
again.
man. And then Tanit Phoenix. I remember this girl, man. I remember at some point all the boys in my high school, I think, were like obsessed with her because she was doing the Sports Illustrated covers in bikinis. It's the time when, like, you know,
why are you doing
like
this?
because like that's how she used to pose, because every time it would be about showing off her.
That's what boys like.
Yeah, showing off her
We love
six-pack
it.
and her body, and you know, it was about
Show us what you got.
yeah, type of. It was during that era, you know. But of course, today she's turning 45 years old. Her rise to fame is gaining global attention through swimwear shoots in Sports Illustrated, GQ, and FHM in 2003. Later starred in Death Race 2 and Gallo Walker. So, an interesting fact about her: she's married to actor Shalto Copley, the guy from District 9. What's that?
District 9.
That movie.
Loya
That
wa
movie.
cisho ba robot loya.
Yes.
Le movie ama robot ba
Yes.
shitelela emzansi.
Yes.
Sana, who's the director? I forgot.
Shalto Copley.
Neil Blomkamp or something.
Yeah, so
it's a
like
South
man.
African- it's a
So
South
since
African robot movie.
2016. So an interesting fact about her: she transitioned into the makeup artistry and designed character looks for the film Hardcore Henry, starring her husband. So like, you know, going into the film industry.
Is
so
that the end of the birthdays?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
so
yes.
just before we
It's
close up.
not. It's not.
Oh no,
Yeah.
Pemelo.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's not Pemelo Kalani.
Yes, I was about to say that, man. Woo!
Vooka Vooka Nation there. How happy birthday.
Hell,
Moketsi.
Moketsi.
I don't have it, guys.
You do?
Where
Just
is
sing,
it?
man.
Okay. Why you want
You
us
can't
to sing?
depend on AI with everything. Sing with your voices, man. How?
I don't want to sing. Maybe I can't.
He birthday, yeah.
Happy birthday.
birthday, yeah.
Happy birthday.
He birthday, yeah.
That's what you get when you make us sing. Anyways, he is turning 16 years old. And of course, an interesting fact about him is he loves acting like he doesn't love cooking.
Wow.
But emotes being in the kitchen.
Okay.
A church band member and plays the kettle drum.
Woo!
Man, Pamela Kalani, happy birthday. And that's, of course, somebody who's a member of our Vooka Nation family.
And then, Simami came through saying, I would like to wish my son,
Yes.
Pamela, a happy birthday. May the good Lord bless him abundantly with many more years. Happy sweet 16, man. Welcome to Peer Pressure. It's Pipiliki.
Oh, Gosiam, Danabantu. Don't fall prey as unbelief. We need good men. Don't fall prey to peer pressure. Mama Bakho will encourage you maybe to do other things that day. Mama could
Something for the boys, Nyana. You mustn't do that, my guy.
Yeah, man. But I think that's what we have.
Yeah.
But lastly, man, is our word of the day. You know, of course, man, just improving our spoken word in terms of improving our vocabulary each and every day, man, with the conversations that we always have with our beloved friends, whether it's family members. We always practice what we call a word of the day. So our word of the day right here, can you please, guys, assist me in finding the word? Oh, there we go. Lambent. It is an adjective and it's spelled as follows: Lambent. Lambent, right? The meaning of the word. But before we give you the meaning, similar words to the word, it's flickering, radiant, and shimmering, right? The meaning is softly glowing or flickering light that dances gently across a surface. Right? Softly glowing or flickering light that dances gently across a surface. Example sentence: the lambent glow of the candles painted warmth across the studio walls. The lambent glow of the candles painted warmth across the studio walls. That is how you can use, the word.
The lambent glow of the sun as it has returned now to the southern hemisphere fills this Heritage Day with so much warmth and fun for the day.
There we go. We have it, man.
There you go.
All right, so you let us know right there at home how you would use the word by using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. But before we take a short break, there are some comments that came through right there. Tembimni saying happy birthday to Pimelo. And then Theo Begi Jagalaza izinto zama heritage.
Hey, boo. Hello.
Happy Heritage Day, man, to everyone of you out
Yeah,
there.
man, and an inspirational message for the day today. Tomorrow isn't waiting for you to be perfect. It's waiting for you to be present. Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. Arthur Hashe.
Yeah.
Let's take a break as we will be back with Osvaldo Nyaka. He's in the studio now.
Yeah.
And he's going to help us with the emotional tone scale. Of course, exploring the topic, what do you bring to the table?
Can we just be bona fide? Can we just be bona fide? Can we just be bona fide?
easily. Forget your lies, forget your ties. I've done everything you asked, but I wasted time. Forget your hair, your dead eye stare. I swear anything's better than you. Get you on the flip side, get you on the flip side. So goodbye.
Yes. Yeah, man, it's been a great morning. The sun is out, the birds are singing, and it's a happy Heritage Day. Of course, I wonder how your Heritage Day is going. Don't forget, you can still share all your thoughts and opinions with us using the number 060-493-3226. So today on the Mind Basket, we'll be discussing something you or someone you know has wondered about before. Don't ask us how we know. We don't. We just do. And since it's another edition, of course, of hashtag Wellness Wednesdays, where we pause, reflect, and pour into ourselves so that we can pour into others, we're unpacking a hot topic that you've probably seen all over social media. What do you bring to the table? Now, most of us ask this question when we're looking at someone else. A partner, a friend, even family members. But here's the real twist, Vooka Nation, because you know what, Mina, I'm all about self. And because it's Heritage Day, how often do we stop and ask, what do I bring to the table? Stay with us, because today we're digging into the real cost of relationships, not just in rands and cents, but in energy, emotions, and time and presence. So let's start here. The table is just a metaphor. It's not really about food or money only. It's about what each person contributes to making the relationship work. And let's be real. Some contributions are easy to see, like paying the bills, providing stability, or making time for date nights. But others, not so much. Emotional labor, being listening ear at 2 a.m. in the morning, keeping the household running smoothly. Those often go unseen and unappreciated. So here's today's first reflection question. If you had to list 3 things that you bring to the table in your relationships, what would they be? And of course, we have Uesh Valdo joining us in studio. He is a DiMartini facilitator, a mental health counselor, a human behavior researcher.
Yeah.
Yes. And of course, you know what? A financial expert. So, as in, he brings a holistic approach to this topic, because now he is going to give us a tool today, or talking about a tool called the emotional tone scale. And of course, how we can leverage this in how we deal with conflict, or how we deal with emotions in relationships.
Yeah, man, powerful. And of course, man, on this Heritage Day, as you have mentioned, we are asking the bigger question: what do you bring to the table, man? Because some of the things that you just mentioned, families out there is still battling, their siblings, to say, hey, the contribution that you are trying to bring right here, sometimes it takes a toll on your emotions, right? And it's something that we are going to just debunk right here with Osvaldo, right? And as somebody who has studied, human behavior, how human behave in certain ways. You are here, and on this Heritage Day, and I see that in terms of putting this question together, the Odd Plate Dinner at Lebo Soweto Backpackers, we are going to be diving deep with the DiMartini method facilitator, right? So I think it's time to get straight into it, in terms of just letting us know your thoughts in this morning. How are you doing? And what do you bring to the table?
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's really grateful to be here with different makers. Yeah. Some people are resting today, and you guys decided, we are gonna get up and go and make a difference. So it's really a privilege to be here with you guys.
Amen. Thank you, man. By the way, Vooka Nation, did you know studies indicate that 23.6% of South African adults have experienced high levels of adverse childhood experiences such as abuse or household dysfunction. These early life stresses significantly increase the risk of developing mental health issues like depression and anxiety in adulthood, perpetuating cycles of emotional distress across generations. And this is according to a source of a national survey on mental health in South Africa. So, I mean, Osvaldo, let's dive straight into it. Many South African communities are facing relational crises in families, friendships, and communities. How much of this do you think is tied to patterns we inherit across generations?
That's a great question. So, how much of it has to do with the patterns that we inherit from past generations?
Yeah, I mean, you had
Yeah.
Vooka Ndota the past weekend, you know.
Yes.
So yeah.
I would say part of it is true in that we can sometimes, because as human beings, we function in terms of the influences that we have around us. So part of it could be that if I grow up with you and you've experienced some specific trauma that you haven't gotten over, or you keep repeating that same story around it, is I can take that on, and by taking that on is I can interpret your story to be part of my reality because we're close. So that could be that it could result in a case where I'm not able to separate your experiences from mine. Where I could come and say, well, we as the Nyakas, we are people who see the world in this way. Then I inherit that by saying that, well, my grandfather saw the world this way, then that got passed down to my dad. And because now my dad is passing it on to me, therefore, the label around who I am, what my heritage is this. This is what I do.
Yeah.
This is what my family does because of that. And because you asked that great question, now my brain is starting to think. So now there is something called spiral dynamics. If you can Google it or put it up for the audience, that would actually be great. So with spiral dynamics, I think it's by Dr. Ernest Beck, where he describes the evolution of human consciousness in terms of growth. So what happens is when we're born into a family. So we identify as the family. So if I'm your brother and you're my sister, I identify that, okay, this is, you're my sister, I'm your brother, and we belong to family X. Then as we grow, then we realize that, okay, well, what tribe are we from? We then recognize, okay, well, we're Zulus. We're Zulu. So therefore, we see the world as the Zulus, and this is the right way to be. Then as we grow from that consciousness, then we realize, okay, outside of the Zulu tribe, there are other tribes. Right? And what happens is then if I am driven by the inheritance of being a Zulu, my main thing or my main mission is then, okay, how do I ensure the survival of the Zulu tribe? Then you realize that outside of the Zulu tribes, there's other denominations. And as you grow, you realize, okay, outside of where I was born, there's other communities outside of the world. And then you get this global consciousness where you realize that, oh, okay, in actual fact, there's more than me. There's a whole world to look onto. And funny enough, spiral dynamics was actually one of the things that Nelson Mandela used to actually create the Rainbow Nation. So in that growth of that, where you integrate different parts of yourself.
I didn't even know that. That is quite an interesting fact.
And others, you actually get to see that, you transcend the different levels of those existence. So when you ask that question, it's a very beautiful question because it can start the way I can say, because my world is my family, I can inherit the beliefs that my family has and take them on. It's not good or bad to it. It's just that's how consciously I think we inherit those
I mean,
things,
it's the same way how like we as a creeds, like there's this saying, the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. There's once a conversation I had with somebody who said, I don't know why I don't relate to my family. I feel like a black sheep because I don't like the belief systems. Like it's almost as if we're strangers because maybe the way in which I experience the world, see the world, my belief structure and what they've now established as a way of living do not now cohesively go with the life that I want to see myself living in the current and modern society that I exist in.
Yeah.
Do you get?
Yeah.
Yes, I get that because then that aspect of there, then we're looking at a different dynamic because what is important to me might not necessarily be important to you.
Yeah.
That's where the discussion of the value structure comes in, the value determination process that I always talk about, because we all have these inherent value or hierarchy of values where the person might think, like you say, what's the most valuable thing to me is that my family name and the way we do things in my culture is what progresses. But you come and be like, well, but my biggest drive is not growth in that family sense where it's family legacy, but my growth is perhaps I want to be a person that brings technology to the world. That's a different heritage and a different culture that you're now bringing. But inherently, we all have that that need to build our own cultures, to build our own heritage. I mean, you come here, there's a specific culture that you work in. If a new employee or someone comes in, they'll inherit
They need to be part of that
the
culture.
culture of the working environment. So you're absolutely right. So the labels that come in terms of someone being a black sheep or sometimes even a white sheep is because we don't fully understand the other person. We're not relating to the other person.
I'm glad that this conversation right now, the first part of it is just to frame the problem, right? And we are speaking about these relational inheritances that people go through. But now we want to know in terms of how do they show up in our daily lives, just to spot them, to say, okay, this now it's leading to what I was trying to avoid. So what are some of the common emotional patterns you see, repeated?
I think to build that, let's speak about the tool, the tool that you spoke about earlier that you wanted to introduce, which is called the emotional tone scale. It is a free thing that you can find on the internet. It was inspired by a philosopher called L. Ron Hubbard, but then someone wrote a book about it, which is called How to Choose Your People. So that book is good because it takes you through your own emotional journey, where you actually get to see where you are in your own emotional tone scale. If you could just bring it up somewhere where you can Google it. It's called the emotional tone scale, and on there, right, you'll see at the very bottom, actually also keep it here on my phone for memory's sake.
Love it.
So
efficiency.
Yes. So when you see the lowest emotional tone is body death. So this is actually just the absence of life form. And just above that, you get the emotion of grief. Now, grief has to do with when someone is dead, sorrow, hopelessness. So we all have this dynamic in our lives. We've gone through a grieving process. We've lost something. And when we say grief, we don't just mean someone passing and then there's a funeral. You've been in relationships and they've ended, friendships have ended, you've probably gotten disappointed with something in life. You thought you had an expectation where you thought, my life is going to turn out a certain way and it didn't. So those things. Yes, 100%. Even sometimes, I looked at myself the other day. I can't run as much as I used to when I was younger.
Wild. So the acceptance of maybe I'm getting older, aging, my body is not as I'm not as pretty, or I'm not as young as I used to be. I'm not as this as I used to be.
Yes, so I'm grieving the fact that I can't run as much as I used to. So that has to do with loss. Then you come across someone it was Nietzsche, where he said
yes.
that basically the reason why you grieve is because you haven't let go of an attachment to something. Then with the DiMartini method, what we discovered with grief is that you only grieve the things that you liked. You don't grieve the things that you disliked when it comes to someone who's passed away. So if you look at someone who's passed away, you don't actually grieve in the person.
Yeah.
You're grieving the traits that you perceive that person gave to you. So in other words, you're seeing that there's more loss than gain to them passing. So that's why you would have that emotional grief.
Yeah.
But as you go up in the tone scale, you'll see different. You go to anger, antagonism, then you go to boredom, then you get something which is also covert hostility.
Yeah.
Now, what covert hostility is sort of when you engage in gossip. This happens. We gossip from time
people
to time.
gossip all
right?
the time.
We gossip. Then you also get the emotional fear. And these are just emotional tone scales. And at the height of this emotional tone scale is where you get something which is called enthusiasm.
Okay.
Now, enthusiasm is when you've got high energy and you've got joy.
Yeah.
Now, just a bit of a disclaimer. Sometimes enthusiasm doesn't just show up in that, hey,
Yeah.
I'm bouncy
Like,
up and down. But this is at the height where you're looking for solutions. You're looking to resolve things. Now, it's important when you understand your different emotional tone scales, is that when you're choosing who to be around or who to associate with, you then got to pick out, okay, where is this person's, what emotion do they emit most of in that emotional tone scale? So if you go and hang around someone who's constantly talking about grief, that's the emotional tone scale that they seem to be stuck in. So because they are there, how do you relate to that person? You're going to relate in terms of loss.
Yeah.
When you speak to the person, they're going to talk about loss.
Yeah.
And that's where they'll be. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but what you don't want to do is to get stuck in that. So these are the things that you look at. Then you look at something which you look at fear.
Yeah.
Fear is when you perceive you're going to gain something or you're going to lose something. You see it in society where you can easily get a group of people and introduce them to a specific fear, and they react to that fear, then they are run by that fear. So when you understand these different tone scales of these emotions, then you're better able to, again, what the book speaks about, being able to choose your people properly. So if I'm grieving, the last thing I want to do is to get stuck in the grief. So I need to be around people who have enthusiastic outlook on life. So it gets me out of my grief.
Yeah. You know, I'm glad that you brought that chapter on the book, right, which is the emotional tone scale, because the chapter suggests that many of us love people who continually disappoint us, right? And the question will be, do you think this comes more from misplaced expectations or from ignoring emotional red flags?
I'd say all the above. And also because maybe it's also because we get some benefits out of that. That's why we continuously do that. Because maybe that's why we want to be in that place. I mean, if I'm a therapist, I want people who've got problems. So I might be drawn to people who've got problems. But the thing is not to have the person stuck in there. And also, again, you got to look at where you are as to what attracts you about that person. Are you attracting that person so you stay in your emotional tone scale? So in other words, if you want to be with that person, is it because it reassures your fear of losing the person? So therefore, you know that if I'm always around this person who's got this certain problem, well, I'm going to keep them in my life. But then if you're on a high emotional tone scale, what you're going to do is you're going to be there and provide a solution. You're going to be solution oriented to say, okay, yes, I understand that you're grieving right now. I understand that this is what it is. But then again, if the person were alive today, would they want you to not move on? So when you become solution orientated in that way, then you're dominating, or maybe you're bringing a solution to that emotion. So you're actually picking them up in the emotional tone scale. But
Yes, sorry. So, like for me, I would just like to know. So, now let's bring it back to what's the first step in recognizing where one is on the scale, especially when emotions are high or situations feel out of control.
Okay, you'd listen to your tone or your language.
Okay.
But the best thing to do is to actually just understand it, because you've got access to it, to the tone scale. Right?
Yes, I think Banele put it up. There it is.
Yeah, Banele put it up. So just perhaps choose one emotion that you see there.
Peace and calm.
Yes, when you say, because most guys, okay, let's now talk specifically because we're hearing like now, this is a conversation that on social media has gone on, right? Which
Okay.
is what do people bring to the table? Like we just, how we started the conversation. So when you say you want peace and, calm.
Yes.
Yes. So like, what's the first step in recognizing where you are with like when you say you want peace and calm, and then there's like conflict though. Now there's conflict, and you say, "But I want peace and calm."
Okay, so you're gonna take us on a nice spiral there. So the person is saying they want peace and calm, but then now there's conflict.
Yes.
Right? So why does that person want peace and calm? Is that because they don't want to confront something? Because the only way you can get peace and calm is if you confront something.
True.
So what happens is most of the times is we're not able to confront certain things. So if I come to you and I say, okay, my emotional tone scale is not at peace and calm yet. It's lower down. So in order for me to get to peace and calm, I have to confront the other emotions. You see, so in other words, we have to go through the wave of fighting in order to get to that level of peace and calm. So whatever it is that we haven't confronted will remain there, and until we confront it, handle it, then we can move up the tone scale. So it's the same as, by the moment I want peace and calm, is I have to go past my fears of losing you, so we have to confront the issue that's at hand.
Yeah.
So if once I'm over the fear of, okay, you could leave
Break up with me.
we could break up with
Yeah.
me because what I say might make you say, you know what, perhaps this is not for me. And you leaving and you staying means we've confronted my fear of me losing you. So now I'm able to say to speak what's on my mind. And then I can get to peace and calm. But the illusion is that we want to get rid of the opposite of the peace and the calm before you get the peace and the calm.
Yeah.
But in actual fact, you have to confront the opposite of
process.
it to get that. So the emotional tone scale, what's helping us do is to say, okay, in my dynamic with my relationship, maybe at work, where am I in this dynamic? Do I fear losing my job? Or am I a person who's perhaps grieving that, okay, maybe I don't have the power that I used to at work? Okay, deal with it. Okay, now I've dealt with the grief of that. How do I come up with the solution? How do I get to that enthusiasm place where I'm able to deal with the fear of losing my relationship?
Yeah.
I don't know if that answers the
It
question.
answers the question perfectly, man. Like you said, man, these questions really dig deep to the heart of things, right? And I mean, one of the things that really shape our culture and our traditions is our emotions.
Yes.
So, many people react without thinking, unintentionally perpetuating toxic cycles. Can you share a simple technique to catch ourselves before an emotional hijack happens?
Well, the first thing I would say is to identify the emotional interpret or the emotional charge that you have, and you'd have to deal with it. I think the most powerful thing I always go back to is being able to ask quality questions around what the trigger is, around what the emotional outburst is, and actually seeing benefits to that outburst. Because the reason why you have that emotional outburst is because you're perceiving that whatever's happening is not doesn't support your value structure.
Yeah.
So for instance, the person you spoke about, where it's like, okay, well, the person wants me to focus on heritage, where they're saying, well, you have to be this way, but inherently I don't want to be that person. So what will happen is you'll be frustrated and express frustration, so the person then gets the message and understands what you're communicating. So frustration is just the build-up of either uncommunicated resentment or something that you haven't found a strategy to communicate effectively in the other person's value structure. So you're like, oh, okay, let me use frustration to get my way. I mean, kids do this all the time.
Yeah, they throw tantrums. 2-year-olds, you terrible twos. I want it. And then now you're just like, okay, just have it because you don't want to deal with the maybe disciplining or whatever.
You see, but we do it as adults as well.
Yeah.
We just categorize it as throwing a tantrums. We categorize it as being toxic. But what we're doing is we are expressing what we want through that. So it's an expression. When I express anger, it's because I'm in my delusional state that, oh, okay, the world is supposed to revolve around me. The world is supposed to,
Do
give
things
me
the
what
way
I want.
yeah.
But the truth is, the world doesn't revolve around you. It revolves the way that it works.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get what you want, and sometimes you don't get what you want.
Yeah.
So frustration is just a byproduct of, it's an expression of something. So what you first got to do is to say, okay, if I'm trying to change this frustration, find out, how does it benefit me to be frustrated?
Yes.
And how does it benefit other people when I show that trait of being frustrated?
Yeah.
Then you'll see that, oh, okay, well, in my frustration, this is what I was trying to communicate. And the only way that person would understand me is through that frustration. And also, if, again, it goes back to you as an individual, that if I haven't handled my own frustration levels, the moment you show frustration, I'm going to be triggered. But if I know how to handle frustration, I'll use it against you in actual fact. Right? So it's about that. So first identify your frustration in yourself, and then find out the benefits to you and others when you actually express frustration. So you'll see that it's part of who you are.
And the book, it also talks about resilience and emotional mobility. Do you believe that emotional mobility, like moving up and down the scale, is a skill that we can cultivate, or it's a largely fixed trait?
No, it's actually a great skill to be able to do that.
Okay.
So if you read Machiavelli's books on power, he'll tell you that there's a time to be a lion and there's a time to be a fox.
I love this conversation.
Right?
This conversation is fueling my Wednesday right now.
Yeah, so being able to go down the tone scales and up the tone scales is actually good.
Yeah.
Because if you're frustrated and angry, if I come down to your level, show you frustration and anger, then I'm communicating in your emotion, then you understand it, then I can take you up tone now again. So if you're frustrated, I'm be like, okay, listen, I understand what you're saying, but you're still being frustrated. If I come down, communicating your emotional state, now you might think, oh, there's an argument going on. But in actual fact, there's communication also going on. We're just communicating at a specific emotional tone scale. So being able to, again, express your frustration, express your anger, then after expressing that anger, go up tone. That's the emotional mobility that it's speaking about. I mean, if you run a company or a business, you're going to get frustrated at the people that you work with sometimes. Now, the problem now is that society has tried to sort of create this one-sidedness that you can't work in a toxic environment. But the fact is, you're going to label something toxic because you're seeing that it doesn't serve your values in your perception. But sometimes those emotions do happen. So the question now is, how do we handle it? Frustration will happen. Anger will happen. You won't always speak in a calm tone voice.
No.
I mean, if we're dating and and we speak, you'd be like, TC, we had an arrangement that you'd be home at 8 o'clock. You come home at midnight, and
You think you're gonna speak to me nicely? No, there's no way you're gonna communicate. You're gonna be like, Tisi, but what did I say? I thought we agreed. And then now I'm like, but Osvaldo, why the hell are you talking to me like that? Like, don't talk to me like that. Now you know, yeah.
So that frustration is telling us what? There's two unrealistic expectations that's going on. One is I'm trying to get you to live according to my values, right? But the truth is you're going to be true to your own values. So if I impose my values onto you, or you impose your values
This is
onto
why
me,
there's friction.
that's where the friction is. But if I deal with, oh, you know what, TC won't always be on time because maybe she values being out more than she values being with me. Now, how do I create a situation where TC values being around me that she says, you know what,
I can't wait to go
6
home to my
o'clock,
man.
I
Bye,
want to
guys.
be with things. So,
Yeah.
that is how you would, I would say, you could look at that. That the frustration is just the friction to let you know that somewhere here there's an unrealistic expectation that's not being met.
Yeah, powerful, man. And because I see on the chapter right there on the book, on the emotional tone scale,
Yes.
where it speaks about sanity and society.
Yes.
So the chapter reframes that sanity as not a fixed state, but a matter of degrees on the scale. So how does this perspective change the way you view people labeled as difficult or unstable?
That's a great question. I actually want you to actually repeat that question again with the statement that you spoke about sanity.
Yeah. So the chapter reframes sanity as not a fixed state, but a matter of degrees on the scale. So how does this perspective change the way you view people labeled as difficult or unstable?
That's great. So let's take grief, for example, right? In your culture, when someone passes away, how long are they supposed to grieve for?
3 months.
Or 6, depending on who died.
Yeah.
3 months, 6 months, depending on who dies, right? Now, let's say you come to me and I tell you, Mo, by the way, my parent passed away last month, right?
Yeah.
And then I don't stay in the grief tone. I go upscale and be like, well, my parents lived a very good life, very happy. You cannot determine when someone is born or when somebody dies. It's just the way of life. We need to move on.
Yeah.
And it's only been a month.
Yeah.
Right? Now, with your cultural beliefs, you can label me as this person is not sane. You'll think I'm crazy because
or heartless or whatever.
you label me as being heartless.
Like highboard this person, like what's wrong with you? You said, because based on the value system of my culture, you're supposed to mourn a person 3 months at least.
At least 3 months. So now I don't mourn the person for 3 months. Then my degree of sanity, according to you, will be like, this person is not well. This person is heartless. He's you take it to extreme, be like, no man, this person, they done something to this person. The spirit is not right.
He has no soul.
He has no soul. We have to take him through like a cleanse. Right? But then again, if that's the belief in certain people and they do that, so the people who practice life that way, and they see that, they'll label that as, oh, this is the same thing to do. So according to them, they saying if you grieve for 3 months, 6 months, then sanity is going on. So that's how the tone scale goes about. Again, it just depends on what you've been able to transcend in your own life. How big of a game you're playing, where on that scale of life are you playing, or with the spiral dynamics, what have you integrated through your life, and what are you seeing? I mean, you see this when you see it in politics.
Yes.
You see it in different settings where these emotions get played. When we're campaigning during elections, is I tell you, well, that party is bad, and I am the savior. So I take you down on the emotional tone scale, then I take you up. So that on the upscale, you're saying, oh, I'm feeling good because of this.
They're going to give us jobs. Like I'm getting food parcels. It's all these things. They play on it. So
those are the different emotional tone scales. I mean, you had the event. I don't know if you can touch on it. Where the lady was speaking about the rapture or something. What was your experience with that when we got told that the world is ending between yesterday and today?
Yes.
That was going on. What was that about? What happened?
I think it's just on. Maybe there's a shift, maybe
That's
a shift in
happening,
consciousness,
Yeah.
that perhaps is now currently taking place globally. And I mean, right here we are really shifting minds with this conversation, because my mind has been blown. Even being the one to curate it, I didn't expect it to even go this way.
Yeah.
So it goes to show, right? Oguti, there are times when you think a way something would go a certain way. Maybe sometimes it exceeds your expectations, and then sometimes it doesn't, and then you just need to see how you deal with that, or how
Yeah.
you accept it, and then be okay with it.
True.
Yeah. And then when it comes to right there on YouTube saying, Osvaldo, what happens when someone tries to shift from a negative to a positive state by acting happy, even though they still feel sad inside?
They're going to have to deal with that sadness. I think I always go back to this, and sometimes people think that I'm crazy and stuff, but I always go back to the fact of Heraclitus' philosophy that reality exists because of a duality. You cannot get one without the other.
Yeah.
So until you find the balancing point to the sadness, you would think that happiness is the way to be.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong, but sometimes we do put on happy faces because it helps with the circumstance and the environment that we're in. I think when you come, for example, to this environment, doesn't matter what it is you're going through outside life, you come here, you are able to be something and someone in this environment. So that means this dynamic in your life is in order.
Yeah.
But perhaps the other dynamic is not in order. So that sadness, what is it attached to? Is it attached to maybe is it attached to a specific grief that you're going through?
Yeah.
So that means you need to resolve that. So what is that sadness linked to? And what is your happiness linked to?
Yeah.
I mean, like TC spoke about earlier, if my happiness is linked to being out and socializing, I'm not going to have the time to want to go and be isolated with my partner.
Yeah.
Because my happiness is more, I'm seeing my happiness as being more beneficial being outside than having to deal with the sadness of being at home. So it's about finding out, okay, if I'm sad, what is the sadness attributed to? What's the cause of the sadness?
Yeah, the root cause.
Yeah, what's the root cause? Yeah.
Man, this has been a beautiful conversation, and thank you so much, Osvaldo, for indulging us. So, I mean, as we close off the conversation, because the time just hit 4 minutes past 10, if you could leave one takeaway for our listeners and watchers today about breaking generational toxic patterns, what would it be?
I would quote my favorite teacher, Dr. DiMartini, and say that you only have control over 3 things, and that's your perceptions, your decisions, and the actions that you take. So those are the 3 things that I would say. Yeah.
Beautiful, man. So before we close off the conversation, we want to play 2 videos for you, Osvaldo, and maybe you can explore them using what we have discussed here today for the Vooka Nation in order to get a greater perspective on this topic. I don't know if Technicals has these.
Which is the lowest testosterone time of the day. The picture is testosterone being here. The highest it's going to be at the day, first thing in the morning. This is why guys like to cuddle you, connect with you early in the morning. Testosterone's high. Throughout the day, his testosterone is going down and down and down and down, typically to a low right when he finishes work, whatever he's been focused on that day. Let's say that's 5 p.m. And there's a period of transition time that is needed for any man to not just build up his testosterone, so he can be present, communicate clearly, be decisive, which we want our men to be, right, ladies? Not only does it help him boost his testosterone, but it also helps him switch from work mode to boyfriend mode or husband mode. And the biggest green flag that a man is really into you is he honors this part about himself enough to refuel in service to your and his relationship. And spoiler alert, when I'm talking to men, I say one of the biggest green flags that you got to keep her of a woman, that she honors your hormonal cycles, which as men are attached to the sun, it's in every 24-hour cycles, just as much as she wants you to honor hers, which is a 28-day cycle, as you know. Chances are you don't want a guy in the middle of your bleed. Yo, we're going to go play flag football. I really want you there. And you're going to be the wide receiver. I want you running a lot. I want you being super active right now. No woman wants that at that time of their cycle. Just as no man wants his partner telling them all of their problems, giving them a to-do list, sapping the very tiny little bit of testosterone that he's got left after what he feels is battling the world all day. I know it's a crazy thought, but if we learned about each other and our hormonal cycles and what makes us tick, who knows? Maybe we'd have better relationships. Screw it, let's just complain about them. For more interesting news that's going to make both of you happier, hit the follow button.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with most of the stuff that he says.
Okay.
And I think to add to that, I would say is learning and knowing what your partner values most and being able to communicate in their hierarchy of values. I think that if and then integrating the different value structures. I think when the friction of communication comes in is when we don't understand each other's value structures, and then we also don't find a way to align two value structures together. So like the same dynamic is he probably wants you home, like he said, because his testosterone levels are high.
Yeah.
So he needs to express it. That's why he wants you home. But then you're busy outside, right? So those are two opposite value structures. But then if you look at it, if he integrated the two value structures, one of the things you can do is actually ask the question, okay, how is TC being outside and, meeting other people beneficial to me in my hierarchy of values of being home? One of the things you'll find is when she comes home, she's got amazing stories to tell.
Yeah.
Right?
You guys have something to talk about.
You guys have got something to talk about.
Yeah.
So being able to integrate that means I can then be
Spend time
present with you.
Yeah.
Right? And the benefits of you to him being at home, maybe is that you always have someone to go home to. And once you get home, you're in safe hands. So that, I think, being able to communicate in each other's value structures also opens up the different biologies within us. I think, yeah.
The next video.
Will thrive is if the person in the masculine, typically men, know how to screen flag your relationship. Will thrive is if the person in the masculine, typically men, know how to hold the emotional puke bucket. Here's what I mean. We both know that women feel exponentially more emotion than men. Women will often blame men for suppressing their emotion, which sometimes is right, but more often they're projecting their emotional volatility and their emotional experience onto men and wondering why they're not having the same emotional experience. We don't feel as much emotion as you, period. That's never going to change. And that's where the opportunity is. When a woman is feeling so much emotion that she's picking away at a man, trying to start a fight, and just can't find equilibrium, the role of the man in that situation is to hold the energetic puke bucket. Here's what it looks like. Ladies, send this to your man. This is a very good tool. The man is meant to pretend that he's got a bucket. The woman is drunk on emotion. She's bringing stuff up, and she's all caught up in the process. His only two jobs is to, number one, start the conversation. Tell me what's on your mind. What are you feeling right now? Some sort of opener. Let her emotionally vomit into the bucket, meaning this is what's going on, you're doing this, you never do this, you never show up, you said you'd clean the garage, da-da-da-da. And his second job is to not react and simply ask, what else? So it could look like, I hear that you're mad that I didn't clean the garage. That makes total sense. What else? I hear that you're mad that my hair is too short right now. I appreciate it. I think you're right. What else? Hear that you're sad or you're scared or you're frightened or whatever she's feeling, acknowledging all of those feelings, followed by the term, what else? So that she can puke all of those emotions into that bucket over and over and over and over and over again and get to the point where finally he says, what else? And she goes, that's it. Because only at that point, when all of those emotions are out, can a connecting conversation happen. And it'd be somewhat similar to a guy who's feeling a lot of anger. He's not going to be able to have a rational conversation with someone, and it can be really helpful for him to be able to get that anger out, whether it be through some somatic practices or a woman saying, it sounds like you're really angry about this, what else? So that both people can get to a place of equilibrium and know what is a feeling, what is a reaction, what is a trigger, and what's actually going on in the situation. For more tools like the emotional puke bucket.
Yeah. Emotional puke bucket.
Yeah.
He makes sense towards the end.
He says towards
Right.
the end, yeah.
Because the other thing, right, is with that is you can create an unrealistic expectation that when I get home and I'm in this state, my partner must listen to me in this way, right? And then you will create a behavior. You'd want to impose a behavior onto the person, right? When in actual fact, also, it also takes away the excuse that I have to be able to deal with my emotions outside of this person.
Yeah.
So imagine if our relationship is based on the fact that once I get home, I have got these emotional charges.
Yeah.
I dump it on you. You become the bucket.
Yeah.
At some point, the bucket becomes full.
Ooh, yeah.
What happens to the bucket? The water needs to come out.
Yeah.
Ish.
And how is he expressing that? Because he's taking it all in,
Yeah.
right? Now the question is, where is he taking it out? What I would say to add to that too is, each individual has the responsibility to actually find the equilibrium in what it is that they're going through. So if you're emotionally charged by something at work, you have to balance that out before you get home.
Yeah.
So you don't have the emotional charge. That way you're then able to be more present with your partner.
Yeah.
And this is the thing about a dynamic equilibrium, that you won't get one side without the other. So if you're at work, work won't always be good. If you're at work, work won't always be bad. It'll be bad and good, and you need the two. But the problem is, again, if we don't see that what we're doing or what we're experiencing is not supporting us in our value structure,
Yeah.
we're going to label it as this is an emotional outlook, therefore I am angry. You're only angry because you don't see how that's beneficial to you, and you're only happy because you see, oh, this is beneficial to me.
Yeah.
So with that, I think the element of personal responsibility has to come in. Because if you're, and this is the truth, if you're always coming home and I'm always the puke bucket,
Hey, it's not gonna
at
work.
some point I'm gonna be like,
Whoa, like stop, whoa, bus, like gee,
Pour
right
you
there.
back with your
Yeah, like just pour the vomit back at you. Like I'm tired of you now. Like I. Every time when I'm out feeling, everything is my fault. What the hell is wrong with you? Hey.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
So those are your triggers. But then again, if you look at the two, with the emotional tone scale, if you're in your dynamic, you're able to handle that, and you're not stuck in that emotion. You're able to then transcend it. Once you get home, you're able to be present. Just the same way as if you're overly joy at work, don't come home and expect me to be
overly joy. Yeah, Jay.
Right?
Like now suddenly you want me to be happy also just because you're happy.
Right, because there's a different dynamic at
yeah.
home. So it's
Okay.
about being able to be present with the dynamic that is happening. It's not always going to be, I'm the bucket. No, it won't happen.
Yeah, man. Thank you
cool
so much
video.
for that. Yeah, man. Osvaldo, we've had a great time with you, of course, as always. And thank you for joining us on the Mind Basket, of course, discussing how we can use the emotional tone scale as a tool for mental health. And, of course, to have better relationships that are balanced and where you're the table, everybody around the table knows what they need to do and knows what role they play, and of course plays it to the best of their ability.
Yeah. Powerful, man. And I think as much as you mentioned the book How to Choose Your People by Ruth Minshall, I think you should also come back for book review, because this speaks to a lot of people, man.
Please.
And the contents on the table on the book, man, I mean, talking about making amends. There's grief, there's sympathy, there's anger, there's pain, there's antagonism, there's boredom. Like there's such a lot that we just need time. Choose a chapter, talk about this chapter, and convince people to go and read about this book, because this book.
It's gonna help. It would
powerful.
help a lot because right now we're seeing, like we're saying, most of people's problems comes with or mental health problems comes with self-awareness when it comes to situations and relationships, how we relate to others, how we connect to each other. And of course, since it's Heritage Day, how we connect to each other and how we relate to each other is quite important.
Yeah. So with that being said, 16 minutes past 10, it is the time, and this was your wonderful Wednesday morning right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, bringing you all of the positive vibe, man. Your energetic starter to your day. It's Heritage Day. Some of you are still, coughing up that rest for later, and it's not always about alcohol. Holidays in South Africa have turned into a mess.
Like everyone just wants to, because I think mostly because everybody on the emotional tone scale is tired. They are tired. Like as in we've had enough. See, frustrated. See, katele.
Yeah. But right here, I just want to close off with a wonderful introduction by Ruth right there. So the introduction reads as follows. Out in the jungle, I don't know what occupied your mind when you were in the early teens, but I was usually engrossed in trying to top insults with my older brothers. What's going on? When I bothered to think about it all, I expected that somewhere in the process, growing up, I'd learn how to choose people, how to tell good guys from the bad ones. In the movies, it was easy, those white hats, but I wasn't acquainted with any cowboys. Trustingly, however, I assumed that if the movie people recognize the difference, surely my parents and teachers knew all about people and someday would share the secrets with me, but they didn't. So, for today's day, man, I think our book recommendation, people should go out.
How to choose your people.
How to choose your people by Ruth Minshaw. But with that being said, thank you so much once again for joining us. We're looking forward to have you again on book review on this one.
Okay, now thank you so much. It was really, 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 I'm always grateful to be with you guys. Thank you so much.
And then lastly, Banele says, so faking it till you make it, it's dangerous.
Sometimes. Sometimes it can be dangerous. It can be very dangerous.
Yeah, but TC, last words?
No, I don't really have. I mean, we have some funny videos that we can play for some laughs.
All right, okay, while we're doing that, let's just take a short break and let Osvaldo go. And then when we come back, of course, we're just going to play off.
We're going to play off. It's just you guys, we're going to play the videos for you. We're not going to react. We're not going to speak. And then we're going to close the show. Thank you.
But with that being said, guys, thank you so much for being with us. See you, of course, man, on the next one. It is your dose of positivity. My name is Mokiti Maimane. Max for maximum temperature. I am the son of Mother Nature, and
generator. And of course, from me, Utisika Mazubuga Shabalala, your prime cut creative and positivity dose of the day. Umamshengu omuhle indlovukazi yakwantu intombi yomzulu namhlanje ngizo celebrate ubuzulu bami because happy Heritage Day Mzansi. Bye.
I feel like Kanye when he lost his Donda. When my father left me, you were there to heal the pain I conquered. I never pay you back for what that meant to me. Some scars just fade physically, but never leave mentally. It's where people spiritually connected turn to enemies, and memories turn to villain origin accessories. And I'm the bad guy yet again. Spent so much time trying to find who the victim is. It's probably both of us, but neither one is giving in. So here we go again, throwing punches at each other's ribs. Gunshots sting like a buckshot. The pain hits deep, it's like my heart becomes a blood clot. Love dots, you're unblocked. Just to get this message, hope you get it on your bus stop. And then the bus crash, your true intentions unmasked. This should have been a fairy tale ending, but you uncast. I know it hurts bad, but you know you deserve that. We'll never have the life we once had. Hey. Emotional trauma with a prima donna. Hey. Yeah. Emotional trauma with you. I got my problems with you, but I can never get away. I wish my brain had a hard drive that I could reset. Wish I made the right decisions, but it's hard to reject. Moving on, but you got me on both sides of the fence. Left your mark forever, that's without a scar on the flesh. Wish that I was sick and didn't hit the bar when we met. And spent my money time with you just to be in this debt. See you happy somewhere else while I've been filled with regret. Try to find someone to blame, but it's just cause and effect. Hey. I thought that was the truth. Cause nothing lasts forever, that's except for me and you. Young and unaware of all the shit that we would do. Try to make it out alive, but didn't make it through. Your parents probably hate me, but my mom still always asks if we're getting back together, even though it ended bad. Forward thinking, haunted by the habits of my past. Precious moments with you, girl, you even met my dad. And any girl after you won't ever have the pleasure. So I guess it's part of why it's hard for me to ease the pressure. So many years, so many times I can't remember. Fear I'll lose them all forever. Hey, yeah. Emotional trauma with a prima donna. Emotional trauma with you. I got my problems with you, but I can never get away. I can never get away. I can never get away. I can never get away.
I just been keeping my poise, made by the million but still unemployed. They text me about green but not on Android. She not my shawty, she filling the void. I make the sounds that cut through the noise. He think he a man but he chillin' with boys. Put down the liquor, start drinking LaCroix. The pain wasn't choice but now I rejoice. My uncle had told me that I was the one. I played the shit smart, now my bragging and dumb. Lil' shawty had hit me, said she wanna come. Her dress is just black but she not a nun. I'm so Pasadena cause that's where I'm from. Some bangers, some hoes, some niggas with guns. They scheming for riches, they playing it numb. I'm second to wins cause I'm second to none. Nickel, look, what the fuck you think I do it for? Do it for, hey, looking in the mirror, you the go, you the go, hey, I've been out here grinding 24, so nigga in the mirror, you the go, hey, what the fuck you think I do it for? Do it for, hey, looking in the mirror, you the go, hey, out here grinding 24, so nigga in the mirror, you the go. I ain't had to get snooze in a minute. Got the bag, then I took it independent. Model 3, you know it's not rented. Authentic, every vibe is cemented. Fresh J's, now we jumping out the ceiling. Tough times made a diamond out of feelings. All facts, they can question what I'm dealing. Fuck a house, we my focus on the building. Just some love and now I'm feeling so prolific. Hustle loud, most you niggas don't get it. Seen the highs and the lows.